आज के स्ट्रीम में स्वागत है। वीकेंड का पहला स्ट्रीम। मेरा नाम है सेंटी और आज वापस से फाइनल फैंटेसी यहाँ पे कल खत्म किया था, वहाँ से शुरू करते हैं। बड़े लिंक्स हो सकता है डाल दूँ मैं। हेलो, हाँ आवाज़ भी आ रही है एकदम ठीक से, पर अच्छा ये समय पे मैंने नोटिस कर दिया कि ये बहुत कम आ रहा है इसकी आवाज़ की इंटेंसिटी, क्योंकि मैंने माइक को अपने कॉलर के पास नहीं रखा है, कॉलर पे नहीं लगाया। अब आ रही है ना ठीक से, प्रॉपर स्ट्रेंथ, वो सब जो भी बोलना चाहता हूँ। ओके, सब कुछ हो गया, बस एक चीज़ बचा है और फिर रिकॉर्डिंग शुरू करो। कहाँ पे है यार, ये सही में समझ में नहीं आ रहा। मैप के लिए दूसरा लगाना चाहिए था। यहाँ पे मुझे कोई भी पानी नहीं दिख रहा, पहले भी देखा है तो फिर भी मैं सोच रहा था ये साइड में कहीं पे होंगे हम। गलत बटन वाले। Oh well.
Last I saw, he was in the mess as always.
हाँ ठीक है, गुस्सा होने की जरूरत नहीं है इतना।
Welcome back, Sid. Finish with that log so we can call it a morning.
Almost done.
Carpenter's apprentice. वो कारपेंटर जिसके लिए हमने काम किया था वो क्या है? वो मर गया क्या?
Otto will want to know what happened in Costness. I expect he'll be in the mess.
Again? I've seen schoolboys swing harder.
हम इसमें कुछ लड़ सकते हैं क्या किसी के खिलाफ? मजा आएगा अगर कर सकते हैं तो। ऐसे ट्रेनिंग बाउट्स जैसा। हमारे खिलाफ कौन लड़ पाएगा यहाँ पे, कोई है भी नहीं। सेड होता पर वो तो अनफॉर्चुनेटली मर गया।
Sid!
Staying long this time?
ओह काफ़ी चीज़ें, पर मुझे यहाँ पे जाना है। इन्फॉर्मरी ब्लॉक है, ये ज़्यादा बड़ा है, बहुत ही बड़ा है। और कुछ सेकंड फ्लोर भी है इसका, बल्कि बैकयार्ड, वॉल ऑफ मेमोरीज, ये नया है शायद। चलो जाके पहले सिट ऑटो से बात करते हैं। सिट तो हमने बोलने वाला था, जाके सिट से बात करते हैं। सिट अभी है नहीं, हम सिट है।
All operations are suspended until further notice.
Yes, Captain.
क्यों?
I'll let the others know. Ah, there you are, Clive. Word of your adventures arrived this morning. Victor sent his thanks.
I doubt Kupka will miss the fools he sent to catch me. Not a single one of the bearers we saved showed any interest in coming with us. No one seems keen to join hands with an outlaw. Any news while we were away?
None worth mentioning. Gav's still off keeping an eye on the Republican army. Should be back any day now.
Understood. If anyone needs me, I'll be in the map room.
Still can't work that one out. There must be better places than the hull of a gutted airship to bury your nose in a book.
Yet this is where she's chosen to be. And I'm sure she has her reasons.
Speak with Vivian in the map room. Vivian कौन थी?
I learned something new. You'll be the first to know. Now off you go.
Okay. You're wondering what this new board is behind me, aren't you? All in good time, my best friend. All in good time. Okay, Vivian से भी बात कर लेते हैं। मैं sure नहीं हूँ ये कौन थी।
I'd trust I'm not intruding.
Back from your mission? I'm beginning to think your habit of surviving cannot be attributed to luck alone.
One might say the same of you, Vivian Ninetails.
I'll have you know that only 4 attempts have been made on my life, and none was especially memorable. So, to what do I owe the honor? Could it be that you've come for one of my lessons?
Is that so hard to believe?
Very well then. Shall we start with the state of the realm? To absolutely no one's surprise, she finds herself at the mercy of armies and outlaws. Well, mostly armies. Though that's not for want of trying, is it, Clive? But the real question is, how did we get here? Long though Sambrek's dominion over northeastern Storm has endured, recent days have seen the Blight wrest ever more land from her grasp. For which reason she has continued to wage war on her rival across the strait, hoping to claim less blackened pastures. But Odin would sooner pawn his sword than Waloed relinquish Ash. And the Empire pays dearly for every blade of grass bent beneath Sambrequois boots. Little wonder then that Sylvester set his sights on the crystalline dominion, an altogether easier target, possessed of no less ether. It was 5 years ago, while you were busying yourself with the destruction of Drake's head, that the Empire made its move, subjugating its theretofore neutral neighbor. A nation which could legitimately claim to be the center of the world. Certainly there is no better place to stage an army. From there, the Holy Empire's reach spans the Twins. The non-aggression treaty was the only thing keeping them in check. But if they truly broke the pact without provocation, it is only a matter of time before others reply in kind. The Holy Empire, the Dalmekian Republic, the Kingdom of Waloed, and of course, our friends in Yaran. Who will be left standing, I wonder, when the last drop of blood is spilled?
You were born in Twinside. Do you not fear for your home?
Oh, dark clouds are wont to gather over the Dominion. Yet in spite of it all, she has ever endured. And when the storm has passed, I am confident she will remain. Now, as to the matter of payment for today's lesson, complete a simple errand for me and we shall consider ourselves even.
Even? Right.
Return this volume to old tomes in the shelves. Tell him it was, adequate.
I suppose it wouldn't hurt to visit our resident historian.
Oh, ये कुछ नया है.
And how may I assist you today?
View the state of the realm. Ask about Vivian.
One would think.
One would think my role was abundantly clear by now. I offer you and yours the guiding light of knowledge, that of matters military and political, both past and present, that it might illuminate your way ahead. For it is only by understanding what has come before that one might steer one's way towards a brighter future. Your role, meanwhile, is to ensure that I remain furnished with as much information on the state of the realm as your people can muster, in order that I might continue to appraise the dispositions of the great nations and those who rule them. And, of course, to pay attention during my lectures. It would not do to appoint a storied nightingale as your tutor, only to disregard her expert advice.
I admit,
when I took up my professor's bonnet and began teaching at the University of Canberra, I did not think for a moment that I would one day count Sid the Outlaw among my pupils. But nor did I imagine that my fellow educators would have designs on my life, and we both know how that ended. Has it been a year already? Such is the peril of an overly inquisitive mind, I suppose. One is wont to uncover that which others would go to great lengths to ensure remained hidden. Were it not for you and our mutual friend having come to the rescue, my curiosity would likely have proved fatal. हमारे mutual friend कौन है अब यहाँ पे? Joshua की बात कर रहे हैं? मुझे नहीं लगता ये Joshua है. Gav शायद? पता नहीं. But instead, I was not only saved, but granted a new lease of life, as personal tutor to a band of outlaws, no less.
a far more reputable fellowship.
A far more reputable fellowship than anything in the academic world. world, I assure you.
My beloved homeland.
My beloved homeland, the crosslands of Valestia, where one only has to stroll the streets to hear news from every far-flung corner of the realm. Its mother crystal yields more shards than any other, and its lands even now remain untouched by the blight. It is a blessed country indeed.
Or at least
It was until Sandbakirk elected to invade and establish a new holy capital upon twin sides heretofore neutral shores. It pains me to see the land I loved so changed, and even more to know that I did not predict it. I knew that Emperor Sylvester had designs on the Dominion, but to abandon Oriflamme, the seat of the Holy Empire since its inception, seemed too audacious a move even for him. Well, Blight की वजह से comprehensive grid of important persons and their respective relationships.
I have the details here.
Here you can view a detailed visualization of character relationships in Final Fantasy 16 that updates as you progress through the main scenario. Use L1 R1 to cycle through pivotal milestones in Clive's adventure. ठीक है, Ward of Rosaria ये तो बंदी है. Awoken 5 years on at the new hideaway. Okay. Oh. Rosaria marches, the Knight of Flames, former Duchess deceased. Clive Rosfield. Ambrosia, ये कौन है? Born in the stables of Rosalit Castle, Ambrosia was chosen by the ये मर गई थी. The cost of an eye, ये मतलब अभी भी जिंदा है एम्ब्रोशिया. ऐसा नहीं बोला है कि वो मर गई. Tyler surveyed. Former Duchess. Oh damn, काफी आ गया अचानक से. Cloaks and Daggers to care Novan. Thus Rage. ये मर गई diseased. Battle at Belenus Door. ये कौन मरा यहाँ पे? यामत. ओके. हाँ, इसको हम नहीं मारा था ना. कौन मरा नया? Dominant of Fire. Dominant of Phoenix. हाँ. ये है ना Unmasked. Joshua ही है ये. ये सही है, बुरा नहीं है.
Here you are.
Here you can view a detailed overview of current and past events relevant to Clive's story that updates as you progress through the main scenario. Use L1 R1 to cycle through pivotal milestones in Clive's adventure. अच्छा है, पर काफी समय लगेगा.
The state of the realm is ever changing, Clive.
काफी समय लगेगा वो पूरा पढ़ने में, सब कुछ देखने में, सही बोलूं तो.
Clive, is everything all right?
Keeper of the Stores, Horror Tens. हमने अपना निकाल दिया वो. मार्क. I mean, पर जिन्होंने भी मार्क निकाला उन सब के ये लेफ्ट चीक जो है गाल में वो स्कार होता है, उससे आसानी से मालूम पड़ जाएगा कौन है कौन नहीं है बेरर.
Hither yon dance autumn winds atop the rotten pier.
ओके, देखते हैं इसका क्या नया है.
Blackthorn make me a new one.
Is it business or pleasure? Go on then.
नॉप, कुछ भी नया इसमें तो नहीं है. ये तो अभी ले सकता हूँ, पर ये मेरे लगभग पूरे के पूरे गिल इस्तेमाल हो जाएंगे इस पे. एलिक्सा इंस्टेंटली रिस्टोर्स ऑल एचपी. जरूरत नहीं है ये. पोशन और हाई पोशन काफ़ी कर रहे हैं अभी के लिए मेरे लिए.
You'll not find a better price than that. It'd better all be here. Come again. Or don't. I'm not much bothered either way.
Clive, you're back. You didn't happen to run out of potions while you're away, did you?
बिल्कुल नहीं.
We've a fine selection of tonics and tinctures. Perhaps you'd be interested in some new accoutrement. gear.
मान में क्या उसके लिए आखिर में जाऊंगा ब्लैक स्मिथ में पूरा बात करने के लिए जब मैं
Have we
जा रहा
any
हूँ
more knuckle ties?
Oh, sadly not. Molly used the last of the chocobo in the stew.
ओह शिट सारे चोकोबो को मार दिया इन लोगों ने और कोई है मेरे पास नहीं ओह द साउंड ऑफ साइलेंस मतलब एग्जैक्टली द साउंड ऑफ साइलेंस कोई साउंड नहीं वो जर्नी वेयर द हार्ट इज ज़्यादा बड़ा हो गया इसका
Old Tome said the hideaway is built inside an airship. Said it was called the Invincible.
चलो इससे बात करते हैं अब हार्पोक्रेट्स
Lawsman Harpocrates.
हार्पोक्रेटिस
Now that is a name I have not heard for a long time. So long, in fact, I had half forgotten it was mine. Welcome home, Clive. You were missed, as always.
I believe this belongs to you. Vivian asked me to return it.
On Gods and Men. A heavy leather-bound tome containing the findings of one Anaximander of Canver, a renowned theologian who spent most of his life chronicling Valestia's diverse religious history. Religious history, yeah.
Ready? Our resident scholar devours books faster than young Tet does lemon tarts. Would that I could do the same. But alas, I no longer possess the necessary constitution for such indulgence, either in words or tarts. That said, I have continued my search for mention of the creature you encountered at Drake's Head. But without access to the great libraries of Oriflamme or the Dominion, I regret that I have been able to find little and less. I am sorry.
Please, don't apologize. I'll send word to our associates. See if they can't furnish you with more books.
I fear it is not more books that I require, but the right ones. Mayhap we look in the wrong places. There are still libraries to the north.
I'll see what I can do.
You are too kind. There are not many in this world who would indulge the whims of a tired old historian.
Not too tired to go filching Kupo nuts, though. Always got a pocket for him. Nicks him off the Moogle.
Hush now. We all know there's no such thing as Moogles.
The twins seem well.
Aye. Yet they laugh far too little for one so young. The loss of their parents weighs heavy on them, however well they hide it. Titan took much from us that night, from some more than others, and the wounds that remain, they are not quick to heal.
Which is why we must give them all the time they need.
That we must. Just as I must give you the time you need to recuperate. Good day, Clive.
Good day. Gav will be back soon. I should get some rest while I can.
ये बंदे ने कैसे बोल दिया कि there is no such thing as Mughals? एक Mughals हमारे शिप में ही है, बल्कि हाइड अवे में भी था पुराने वाले, और इसने बोल दिया there is no such thing as Mughals.
My knowledge is yours. I have a few new notes that might interest you.
Level 3, please.
What subject shall we consider today?
Oh, nice. मैं उम्मीद कर रहा हूँ कि ये गेम खत्म होने से पहले हमें इसे एक्चुअली हवा में उड़ाएंगे. असल में मजा आएगा अगर वो करेंगे तो.
Did you learn everything you needed?
लो.
Not back a blink and you're already off solving everyone's problems. It looks good, Clive. Goes well with the scowl.
I'd had that brand for so long. I'd forgotten what life was like without it. What it was like To be myself. And it's all thanks to you, Talia.
The scalpel did most of the work. Ah, before I forget, a rider was here with a letter from Gav. Otto left it on your desk.
Not a Stolas. All right. I'll have a look.
And then you get some rest.
What could Gav have thought worthy of a letter?
Read.
Does that one have blood on it?
क्या? कुछ नया मिसिव या कुछ लिखा था? ओके, ये इसकी बारे में बात कर रहे हैं शायद. मैंने पढ़ा नहीं वो क्या था. बाकी सब छोड़ो, मैं एक अपना नया हथियार बनाना चाहता हूँ.
What do you want?
11 bolt, 195. 180. Yes.
Not bad, if I do say so myself.
No, कोई ये ज़्यादा अच्छे मिल रहे नहीं है. नॉर्मल गेयर हथियार अच्छे से मिल जाते हैं, पर उसके अलावा और कुछ नहीं मिल रहा है.
Anything else?
प्लस मुझे अभी तक क्या बोलते हैं लेजेंडरी कोई गेयर नहीं मिल रहे हैं. ज़्यादातर जो मिल रहे हैं वो ग्रीन या क्या बोलते हैं ग्रे वाले हैं.
If you told me you could fire a forge without a crystal or a bearer before I came here, I'd have taken you for a madman. But no, here it is. The secret's in the bellows, you know. They're Master Sid's own design. The other Master Sid.
Have you been to the toll? I hear a new shipment's just arrived.
Oh, no. I still owe her for the hairpin I bought my wife.
ये नया हमारा हथियार बुरा नहीं है देखने में. Oh, ये यहाँ पे आ गई.
Otto was here earlier with a letter from Gav. He left it on your desk.
और ये क्या है? The oath. Created the day Clive pledged his allegiance to Sid, this crystal shard transfixed with twin daggers is a powerful reminder of a promise made, a friendship forged, and a legacy inherited. और कुछ है ही नहीं मेरे पास. अभी के लिए सिर्फ ओथ ही है. इतने ये नीचे दिखा रहे हैं और कितने चीज़ें मैं इकट्ठा कर सकता हूँ लगता है. Reading table. Reports, letters, and other important missives addressed to Clive are delivered to the reading table in his chambers. New messages are always arriving, so make it a point to check the reading desk upon returning to the hideaway. ठीक है. The Republican army marches on the Empire at Twinside, and the men of the Rock have been summoned to the front. Something big is brewing, I reckon. I'll see you're done to wear upon my return. Republican कौन था? Dhalmaki and Republic? शायद.
What does Gav have to say?
The Republican army is on the march, leaving Randalar in Hugo Kuka's charge. With him and his men occupied with the defense of the capital, they're less likely to trouble us.
Good news, then.
It's more than that. This is our chance, the one we've been waiting for.
But look how far we've come. All that we have here, our friends, the hideaway, are they not cause for joy?
5 years. 5 long years. If I could only command this power I've been granted, we might have achieved so much more. But each time I reach for it, it's like something is holding me back.
Summoning an icon exacts a price not easily paid. Your body knows this only too well. It's merely trying to save you from yourself.
And every burden I cannot bear falls to you.
This mission of ours has made me question everything I thought I knew. But one thing has become abundantly clear. The crystals take more than they give. In exchange for momentary comfort, we must endure a lifetime of pain, war after war, loss upon loss. And now? Now they rob us of our very homes, leaving naught but dust and ash. But you're trying to change that. We're trying to change that. And to me, that's no burden.
I know, but...
Try not to forget. We're only here because Joshua gave us a second chance. It would be a pity to waste such a precious gift.
He did. He was there. It wasn't an illusion. I heard him call out to Ultima. If Joshua is still alive, he'll be looking for that thing.
Do you think he will ever come back?
I know he will. And we must be ready when he does. To a world without mother crystals. To Sid.
And so the North is lost.
I knew that the Blight spread ever more swiftly, Your Grace. But this is far, far worse than any could have imagined.
It is only a matter of time before the twins are no more. The world marches ever closer to its end, and here we chase shadows. Tell me, brother, are our efforts in vain?
Master Clive, a moment, if you... my apologies, I didn't mean to... intrude.
Not at all. We were just discussing strategy.
Speak freely, Otto.
It's Martha, from the inn. She's gone missing. Anyway, I'll be in the mess when you've finished.
Very well.
The Gathering Storm.
What would make Martha leave the rest?
Something has happened to Martha. We need to speak with Otto.
ये तो उसके लिए जाता हूँ. मैं कहीं पे फास्ट ट्रैवल कर सकता हूँ अभी? नो. सिर्फ जो यहाँ पर है वो ही कर सकता हूँ. रेडस्टोन ये बाद में देखूंगा. अभी के लिए सीधे जाके ऑटो से बात करते हैं. काश थोड़ा तेज भागता यार. लो नहीं है पर फिर भी जितना जल्दी हो उतना अच्छा.
What do we know, Otto?
Some lads from the Imperial garrison in Rosaria started a fight over at Martha's Rest. Blood was spilled, bones were broken. The usual. But somewhere in the middle of it all, Martha vanished without a word to anyone. And that ain't like her, Clive. Something's not right.
You think this was planned?
Of course it bloody was. Ever since Eastpool, the Empire's been tightening its grip round the Duchy's balls. They've strung up everyone who's ever set eyes on a runaway, claiming they're traitors to the Holy Throne, conspiring to restore the House of Rosfield to power. And now it sounds like the bastards have turned their attentions to the pallbearers meek enough to stay put. Naturally, old Martha could see the way the wind was blowing, complained that it was getting harder and harder to take bearers in.
And now she's missing. If she's fallen into the hands of the Empire, we could be next.
Couple of curse breakers are already on their way to the inn. They should help speed up the search. But if this is as bad as I think it is, you might end up having to save their asses and all.
Don't worry, Otto. I'll make sure everyone gets home safe.
A new quest is available new. ये यहाँ पे आ गई है? क्या हमारे साथ ही निकली थी क्या उस कमरे से?
It's not that I don't trust Cole to do his bit, you understand? It's that I don't trust the Empire to show any of us any mercy if we get in their way.
Clive, Sid, Cole and his men left earlier. I can have another party ready, if you deem it necessary.
Martha is a survivor. We'll find her.
यहाँ पे क्या नया है?
Ah, my favorite pupil. How may I help you today? Study it well, Clive.
कोई आइडिया नहीं क्या हो रहा है ये बाद में कभी एक ध्यान से देखूंगा यार इसे.
The state of the realm is ever changing, Clive.
वो देखने लायक है एग्जैक्टली क्या किया एम्पायर. थोड़ा बहुत तो विवियन ने बताया था कि होली एम्पायर ने वो उनके न्यूट्रल जो एलाइज थे उन पे हमला कर दिया था क्योंकि ऊपर से ब्लाइट आ रही थी और मोस्ट प्रॉब्ली वो ब्लाइट के पास नहीं रहना चाहते थे तो उन्होंने कैपिटल को एक और दूसरे मदर क्रिस्टल के पास शिफ्ट कर दिया. और अब मोस्ट प्रॉब्ली ढाल में एक रिपब्लिक जो है वो होली एम्पायर पे हमला कर देगी. और तीसरे वाले जो एम्पायर है उसका नाम मुझे याद नहीं आ रहा अभी. पर अभी के लिए उधर चलते हैं. मार्था's रेस्ट.
What happened here?
Come on. We need to find the others.
I'm sorry, Sid. We were too late. The Imperials have already left.
Fucking Imperials. If they hurt Martha, they'll have the whole rest to answer to.
कम से कम वो तो नहीं तोड़ा पुल.
Best off staying where we are for now, I reckon. The boys from the garrison might still be nearby.
Found her. I'd rather not bump into them again. Let's get you to a physical, shall we?
I'm sorry. Oh, I think I twisted something.
Physical, psycho नहीं.
Sid? What said you'd be coming?
I trust you don't mind. Also thought you might need some help. And it appears he was right.
You, could say that, yes. They're saying the Imperials descended like a storm. No one was spared their fury. Martha tried to step in and calm things down, but all our efforts got her were a pair of iron shackles and a hard march.
Any idea where?
Judging by their tracks, they headed towards Sorrowwise Bay.
To the Abbey, sheltering Martha's bearers.
The bastards. Jill and I will go after them. You take care of the people here.
We will. But, before you go, one of the locals heard something. He said the soldiers were talking about a culling. I don't know how big this is, but it doesn't sound good. Be careful out there, Sid.
You do the same.
Dark clouds gather. Martha मरने वाली है.
This culling business. You don't think the Empire means to rid the land of bearers, do you?
What in the world is going on? Lads from the garrison all poured in, sword swinging, and took Martha away with them.
hand. कहीं भी जाने से पहले
Hold still. You're making it worse.
ऊपर कोई नहीं है तो अब चलते हैं. इनसे भी बात करने का नहीं है. जाना है हमें.
Cole is right. That was no tavern brawl. It was a message.
But a culling. Bearers are the property of the Empire. The garrison wouldn't have the authority to act alone. The orders would have had to have come from higher up.
Make for Glademont Abbey. Ooh, क्या नया?
How do?
Stone skin cuffs. Ooh, increases stone skin tonic duration by 30 seconds. The shield on my left arm, sword brother at my right, the courage of my mother to see me through the fight. The soldier's prayer.
That all, is it?
एक मिनट, किस तरफ से जाना है इसके लिए? हाँ, यहाँ से ही जाना है. ठीक है, ठीक है, ठीक है.
Oi, look sharp!
Hey? What?
Good to see you, Sid. The soldiers who did this are long gone, I'm afraid. We're doing what we can to treat the wounded.
हाँ, उसके लिए धन्यवाद. अच्छा काम कर रहे हो. तो जस्ट मुझ पे छोड़ दो. सिट पे. तब मरेंगे.
If those Orsons touch an hair on Martha's head, I'll kill them all myself.
चौकोबो चाहिए यार. कितना आगे जाना होगा कहानी में चौकोबो के लिए? Sorrow wise. And again. Oh damn. और 3-4 इस पे मारा. तेरी इतने ही मार. Oh, फिर से तू मरा. 3-4 मर गए. पोशन दे देख. मोस्ट प्रॉब्लम नहीं मिलेगा. ओह, ये सही है.
Look, up ahead.
Oh.
Martha, are you hurt?
Don't worry about me. It's them at the Abbey who need you. You have to do something.
Tell us what happened.
What happened? The damn Black Shields, that's what happened.
The Black Shields?
The bastards caught wind. The abbot and I were helping bearers. They were gonna hang us both. When the sick rose from their beds, poor souls turned on the Imperials. Distracted them long enough for me to get away.
Then they may still be alive. Martha, do you think you can make it back to the inn? Cole is there with the other curse breakers.
I think so. Thank you, Clive.
Black Shields? Is this some sort of twisted joke? There has only ever been one Order of Shields in Rosaria, and they fought to defend all her citizens.
Seems a step too far, even for the Empire.
किसी से लड़ना नहीं चाहता हूँ तो तुम मुझसे कोई ऑप्शन नहीं दे रही है. अलविदा. मैं उनसे लड़ना नहीं चाहता था. उन्होंने मुझ पे हमला किया पहले. 5 गिल. ओह, ऐसे खाली रहते नहीं है. हाँ है था. 2 3 4 आ जाओ. ये आसान था, वो भी ले ही लिया मैंने। अब लगभग पहुंच गए हैं इसके पास। नहीं, मैं किसी से लड़ना नहीं चाहता हूँ, सीधे तरफ जाना चाहता हूँ। Well, shit.
Are we too late?
There might still be someone inside.
जब मैंने सुना कि वो माथा ने कहा सिक रोज फ्रॉम द डेविड, मुझे लगा कि ये ज़ॉम्बी वाले तो नहीं हो गए अब, पर नहीं, माथा को बचाने के लिए उन्होंने अपनी जान दे दी।
No.
Damn it.
I thought you lot were all spent.
Murderers. They drove the bearers to this.
Wait. These two aren't turned.
That bitch of an innkeeper must have sent them. Colluding with the enemies of the Empire is a serious offence.
And for their crimes shall they be punished. Such is the law. To dwell in darkness that we may purge the night and welcome lasting dawn. On these our swords we swear.
How dare you speak those words? Have you no honor?
Clive.
This won't take long.
मैं शुरू सीधे इससे करूँगा। मारा।
Is that all of them?
I think so.
Quest complete. वो फिनिक्स डैश बोल रहा हूँ क्योंकि दिमाग में और कुछ आ रहा नहीं है। उसके सब को मैं लेके चला गया, मजा आया वो करके। स्टैगर काफी ज्यादा बढ़ गया है। डिफेंस स्टैगर और अटैक दोनों सेम है, एग्जैक्ट सेम है बल्कि। डिफेंस थोड़ा कम है, स्ट्रेंथ चलो चलता है, सब कुछ सही है। ब्रेथ ऑफ द विंड, गाउज cool down. 3 seconds.
I didn't see the abbot. He may still be alive.
सोच रहा है अभी 3 सेकंड कम करना ज़्यादा अच्छा होगा या फिर वो डैमेज वाला ज़्यादा अच्छा होगा, पता नहीं।
The abbot.
The bearers died protecting him, calling upon what little magic they had left in their bodies.
Clive. He's breathing.
We're friends of Martha. We're here to help.
Are the Imperials dead?
They are. Every last one.
If only that were true. The Black Shields will return. The cullings will continue.
Rosaria will never be saved unless we save her. Tell Mother to beg Sid's aid and tell her this wasn't her fault.
I shall.
Sid! Where are you? Sid!
In here! We found a survivor!
Clive. He's gone.
We've laid the abbot to rest, but the bearers, they didn't need to die like this.
No, they didn't. But it was their choice. They knew the fate that awaited them and chose to meet it on their terms, fighting for those who fought for them.
Martha said they rose from their beds, threw themselves at the Imperials so she and the abbot could escape.
I've gathered the bearers' remains. We should consign them to the tide.
Riddick's jump. The currents there are swift. If the abbot was still with us, he'd have taken the dust there himself and performed the casting. I'll get someone to...
I'll do it.
Of course. Cole and I will remain here and see to the Imperials.
Release. Make for Redox jump. ओह पूरा इतना लंबा जाना होगा यार. इधर इतना पास है इधर से, पर मुझे पूरा लंबा जाना होगा. एक ही है.
All right.
एक से ज्यादा था. किधर से जाना है? इस तरफ जाना है. ये दूर जाते रह रहा है. मेरे हिसाब से अब ये रोडक्स जिम जो है वो खुल जाएगा. इस पे क्यों नहीं आ रहा? हरिमान बाउंटी 5000 और 10 क्या कोई आइडिया नहीं है ये कहाँ से आ गया अचानक से. Every now and then, climb may encounter creatures larger, faster, and more ferocious than most. While flight is always an option, defeating these notorious marks can earn him not only renown, but also rare materials that may use to craft new gear or upgrade existing items.
Something has spotted us, Torgal. What am I saying? Of course it has. It's a floating eyeball.
Oh shit. Hey. Oh shit. No, no, no. बिल्कुल नहीं. मैं ज़्यादा मौका ही नहीं मिल रहा यार. Right. Okay, yes. Oh, fuck. नहीं. इसको लगभग.
Nice try.
Okay, ये कम से कम कर दिया. ये प्रेसिडेंट डॉज इसने एनकाउंटर भी कर दिया। एक वो बंदी कहाँ है? जिल कहाँ है? तो ये क्यों है? मेरे साथ ये बंदा क्यों लड़ रहा है? जल्दी इसको भी मेरे साथ लड़ रहा है, ये होता है। इसको आधा ही कर पाया अब तक मैं। ओके यार ओ ये हुई ना बात। नीचे 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 हाँ जितना हो सके इसके स्टैगर को कम करो। नहीं 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 ओ इसका लगभग हो गया। ओ नहीं नहीं दूर जाओ दूर जाओ। स्टैगर हो गया। नो 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 बच गया ये यहाँ पे इधर है। दूर जाओ। हाई पोशन और इसे नीचे लाओ। 10, 15, 20, 25। अरे यार ना करने दूंगा। कहाँ पर है वो? हाँ ये वाला हमला करते हैं। उसको थोड़ा एक और बस लगभग हो गया यार। भैया फाइनली मुझे ये पहले ही इस्तेमाल कर लेना चाहिए था। One. ऊपर पे जाओ पीछे पीछे प्लीज पहुंच जाओ यार ओके ओके माल में क्या ये इसको जब ये स्टन करूंगा ना मिनी स्टन और ये बहुत समय से ये स्टन किया देखते कितना डैमेज हो सकता है मार हाँ नोटोरियस मार्क स्लेन कोई आइडिया नहीं वो नीचे वाले क्या है मैजिक ऐश 10
You didn't see that coming.
ये बीच में आ गया एक नोटोरियस मार्क और अब ये थोड़ा एक और एक्स्ट्रा है मेन स्टोरी के अलावा ज़्यादा कुछ था नहीं अब तक ये धीरे धीरे करके ये नोटोरियस मार्क फिर डंजन्स भी आएगा सही है थोड़ा और कुछ करने को मिलेगा आखिरकार मेन स्टोरी के अलावा प्लीज़ वहाँ पे कोई ना हो मैं बस वो आइटम लेना चाहता हूँ और ये मेन स्टोरी को ख़त्म क्वेस्ट करना चाहता हूँ
So shall the waters cleanse thee of thy burden, and bear it out to sea.
And now they are truly free.
I hope so. What of the Imperials?
A pile. It's more than they deserve. We should go back. Cole is worried about Martha.
All right.
इसलिए ये हमारे साथ नहीं थी हम अकेले गए थे ये एशेस को स्प्रेड करने के लिए परफॉर्म द कैस्टिंग एंड रिटर्न टू मार्थास नेस्ट फास्ट ट्रैवल करूंगा ऑफ कोर्स पूरा भागते हुए क्यों जाऊंगा उधर
We've been speaking with the Blood Axes about how best to protect the village. We won't let this happen again.
Okay.
We're best off staying where we are for now, I reckon. The boys from the garrison might still be nearby.
Founder. I'd rather not, but... We'll return to the hideaway as soon as we've finished our ministrations.
चलो मरी तो नहीं कम से कम ये मुझे लगा ये मर जाएगी अब
No one survived then?
I'm sorry. Before he passed, one of them bade me tell you not to blame yourself.
Doesn't mean I won't. Doesn't mean their blood's not on my hands. Cole said you cast their remains. That was good of you. But it should have been me. This was all my fault.
How? You couldn't have known.
But I did. And I turned a deaf ear to the warnings like the fool I am. The rumors started moons ago. Of black-clad devils descending on villages in the dead of night to slit the throats of sleeping bearers. But I assumed it was all just nonsense concocted by the Empire. Nothing but a ghost story meant to make folk think twice about lending a hand to a fugitive bearer.
And in ordinary times you would have been right. What these Black Shields are doing is unthinkable. Which begs the question, why do it at all? My mother obviously has a hand in this. I cannot make sense of her actions.
And picking what goes on in that woman's head is a job for someone with more time on their hands. Right now, I need swords and men to wield them, preferably big ones. If those Imperials think they can come in here again and threaten my people, they're in for a rude awakening. Oh, before I forget, a Stolas from Otto landed just before you arrived. He asked me to tell you that Gav has returned.
Then we must as well. Will you be all right here, Martha?
We can stay longer if you wish.
No need. I'll be ready should the Imperials come calling. Though I wouldn't turn my nose up if you were to lend me a pair of them strapping young curse breakers.
Black blood. वो भी एक सिर.
Those poor souls died to give me a chance to save others. I won't let their sacrifice be in vain.
If you don't mind, Sid, I'd like to stay here with Martha. Just until she finds someone to guard the rest, that is.
Martha's a stout soul, all right. Anyone else would be out cold after what she's been through.
What in the world is going on?
Okay.
We'll return to the hideaway as soon as we've finished our ministrations.
वो क्या है? The White Winged Wonder, ये ऐसा तो नहीं होता है? ये है क्या बोलते हैं? हाँ ठीक है. ओह ये मेरे हिसाब से बाउंटी है. और मैं क्या साइड क्वेस्ट करता हूँ ये स्पेशली या फिर नहीं.
I know. Martha needs your attention, not me.
Oi, you there! Don't just pass me by. You handy with that sword of yours? Course you are. Bet you're a bloody marvel with the thing. Now, question is, are you willing to use it or not? 'Cause a flock of noble chocobos are in need of help.
Chocobos?
You heard me right. Wild birds? Hmm? The big ones? And not just any chocobos at that. Whiteheart and her flock are the bravest birds you ever did see. They protect travellers round these parts from bandits and the like.
Chocobos? Fighting bandits?
It's true. Why, they saved me from a gang of footpads only yesterday. Nasty lot they were too. And now, they're back, looking to settle the score. Oh, go on then. Don't just stand there. Go and help them.
ठीक है. ये एक और.
All right.
There's a good lad.
Where can I find these chocobos?
I saw him cut across the way over yonder. The rotten scoundrels were driving the poor things towards the old dock. It's a dead end, that is. You save Whiteheart and her flock, you hear me? There ain't a pluckier bird in all the world. She's a hero to us locals. And don't worry, you'll know her when you see her right enough.
I'm sure I will.
And good luck to you. And give those no-good bastards a hiding from me.
Prioritize quest, the big White Winged Wonder.
Whiteheart is the pride of Rosaria. You mustn't let those bastards lay a finger on that noble bird. Find her and her flock. Make sure they're all right.
Oh, उतना भी दूर नहीं. मैं सोचा ज़्यादा दूर होंगे ये. इधर पहुंचने के लिए भी ज़्यादा समय नहीं लगेगा. ओके. भाग स्पीड बढ़ा दे.
Whiteheart. That's quite a name for a chocobo.
यहाँ पे आ गए हैं हम तुझे बचाने Whiteheart. और किसके खिलाफ बचाएंगे तुझे मुझे कोई आइडिया नहीं है Whiteheart.
A white feather. I thought Ambrosia was one of a kind. Speaking of brave birds. Looks like they went that way.
ओह हम एम्ब्रोशिया से मिलने वाले. Whiteheart एम्ब्रोशिया. अभी कह रहा हूँ वाइट हार्ट एम्ब्रोशिया है। अगर हम हमला नहीं करेंगे तो मेरे हिसाब से वो हम पे हमला नहीं करेंगे। ये जो है यहाँ पे मैं करना नहीं चाहता था, वो मेरी गलती है। माफ करना, मैं लड़ाई नहीं करना चाहता था। मैं टकरा गया और फिर बैटल म्यूजिक हो गई, और एक बार बैटल म्यूजिक शुरू हो गई तो तुम मर गए। और 4 है, मुझे लगा सिर्फ 3 था। मैं बाकी को भी करना। और ये मरा। 6 sharp fangs, 10 गिल।
These chocobos aren't going down without a fight.
एम्ब्रोशिया कहाँ पे है तू? वो है क्या? लग रहा था वही है।
We got you cornered, Feathers. You didn't think you'd seen the last of us, did you? You've been bad for business. But I reckon someone will pay good coin to mount your head on their wall.
Not around here, they won't.
Oh. And why's that, eh?
Because she's something of a hero in these parts. You hurt her, and I hurt you.
Piss off. Or better still, how about we hurt you both?
All right then. But don't say I didn't warn you.
बस एक ही बचा है। और 2 3 4 2 3 4 हमें क्या? हमें क्या? ओके, उसने मार दिया उसे। अब बस ये बचा। बहुत देर कर दी, मेरी गलती। फिर से मैं मरने वाला हूँ। जा। दो 3 4 5 6 और ग्रीन वाले के साथ मेरे हिसाब से वो प्रिजन काउंटर नहीं कर सकते हैं। हाँ, इस वाले के साथ कर सकते हैं। जा प्लीज ये मारो। $11,191 नहीं, ग्रीन वाले के साथ ही कर सकते हैं। मैं शायद समय पे नहीं मार रहा, बस वही। Oh. Very nice. Yeah.
Too slow. Let's try.
इसी का इंतजार कर रहा था शायद अब लंच के साथ बस मारते गया तब तक ये फायदा नहीं हो गया चौदह 14,885 हमें क्या मर जाते तो मुझे एक बार मार दिया मुझे लगा था इतना समय लगेगा उसके आँख इतने छोटा जो HP बार दिख रहा था उसे कम करने में well.
You're safe now. White Hart, I presume. Do you know her, boy? That scar. It couldn't be. It is you. You survived. And you found yourself a flock.
Oi! He isn't over! I thought I'd come and see how you were getting on. Oh, you sorted the bastards then. I knew you would. And the whole flock made it through unscathed.
Thankfully, they did. And not only that.
Well, I'll be. I never stopped to think our hero here might once have been someone's mound. Though I dare say she'd suit a fine fellow like yourself. Reckon our feathered friend must have learned a thing or two from her master. Kind-hearted warrior that you are. Bird like her would have cost a princely sum. You born a lord or something?
Well,
Oh, no, sorry. I didn't mean to pry. Don't matter who you are. You done right by me.
What is it, girl?
She wants her master back, I reckon. Told you. And it seems her pals agree.
Is that it? You want to come with me?
Well, bugger me if this ain't a heartwarming sight. The lads down the stables will be hearing about this tonight. Oh, stay right where you are. Doesn't she cut an handsome figure, eh?
She does indeed. How much do I owe you?
Ah, a few scraps of leather's the very least I owe old White Hart. Oh, I'll be sad to see her go, of course. But she's earned her right to happiness and more besides. Don't you worry, we'll get along just fine without her. You hear that, White Hart? You've earned yourself some time off. You have fun traveling with your master now.
You seem awful familiar now I get a proper look at you. That's it. Oh, swarmed my cart on the road, didn't you? No. No, that can't be right. That fellow was a bearer.
Must have been my double.
Oh, must have been, eh? Oh, that'll be the excitement getting to me. Silly sod that I am. Pay me no mind. Anyhow, best be on my way. Good luck to the both of you.
You take care of your flock for now. I'll call you when I need you.
Quest complete. Finally, Chocobo मिल गया हमें. Ambrosia tag. A bespoke saddle and blinders worn by Clive's childhood Chocobo, Ambrosia. Queen! Ambrosia. Displayed in Clive's chamber. आखिरकार Chocobo unlock हो गया. Okay, कैसे बुलाऊं उस Chocobo को? After 18 long years, Clive has finally been reunited with his faithful steed. Hold R3 while in the field to summon Ambrosia next to mount a Chocobo. Hold R3, okay. Yes. Gallop.
Run with the wind.
Raining क्यों करूँगा मैं? Yes, I like this. Dismount R3. चलो, finally मिल गया मुझे चौकोबो. अभी के लिए दूसरा जो साइड क्वेस्ट है उसके लिए जाते हैं. हाँ, एक ही है. कट सीन ना शुरू हो जाए कोई.
Where's Gav?
गैप को छोड़ो. साइड क्वेस्ट का क्या है? साइड क्वेस्ट करूँगा फिर मैं मेन स्टोरी पे जाऊँगा वापस.
Depending on who you ask, this lake was either formed when one of the fallen cities plummeted from the sky, or when a giant worm dug a lair for itself. My guilt is on the latter.
मैं देखना चाहूँगा वो वॉर्म जिसने इतना बड़ा बनाया लेक. ये मैप पे क्यों नहीं दिख रहा?
Damn blighted bilge.
Is everything all right?
Aside from the holes in my hull, everything's roses.
The lake water doesn't agree with it, then?
That's one way of putting it. And unless you got some grand scheme to suck the black from the lake like we do in the atrium, that slurry'll keep eating away at the timber like young Tech does our lemon tarts. Suppose a coat of pitch might stave off the rot for a moon or so, assuming we had any pitch, which we don't. Not any bloody more. Doubt the old tub's got more than a dozen runs left in him.
Of course, Obolus. Your skiff is our only means of reaching the mainland. Without it, we'd be lost.
Well, I'm glad someone round here sees it that way. To make pitch, you need pitch trees. But in case you haven't noticed, live trees are one of the 1,000 things sorely lacking in the Deadlands. Now, I'm not so unkind as to ask you to fell a faraway forest and lug the logs back here to the mere, which is why we'll be needing a suitable alternative. And it just so happens I once heard the thorny pitchers of Curltail Falls cover themselves in a sticky wax to trap birds and beetles and whatnot. Might be enough to tide me over.
Sounds easier than felling a faraway forest. That's for certain.
Never been to Curltail Falls myself. Never seen a curl for that matter. Not that I want to. I heard they'll tear a man from cock to crown soon as look at him. Good thing all we need is some wax from a thorny pitcher. How hard can that be, hmm?
म्यूट पे था वापस 3 रीड्स में यहाँ से नीचे गिर सकता हूँ यस चौकों की जरूरत नहीं है
Easier than felling a forest, I said. The trees don't have teeth.
जा 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 दोनों को मारो ओह शिट मैं दबाना भूल गया ओह उसके उठने से जस्ट पहले मैंने उठा दिया एनिमी स्लेन
Can't imagine Obelisk needing any more than this. Time to head home.
वो आसान था मैं बोलने वाला था कि काश ये हर बार जो है जब ये यहाँ पे लेकर आता हमें जब यहाँ पर आते तो सिर्फ इस एक क्वेस्ट की वजह से वैसे बोलूँ तो वो जैसे मेरे दिमाग में आया मेरा अगला थॉट था कि अच्छा है कि हर बार वहाँ यहाँ से निकलता है और हर बार मुझे उसके ऊपर जाना पड़ता ये तो बस एक बार मुझे दो बार नीचे आने वाला है इस साइड को इसके लिए उसके अलावा तो ज़्यादातर जो भी करूँगा उधर ऊपर ही होगा तो अच्छा है कि उधर ऊपर ही शुरुआत से रखते हैं हमें
Well, did you find me some wax?
Find is one way of putting it.
अपने आपको म्यूट में डाल दिया था यार क्यों डाल रहा हूँ इतने बार म्यूट में पता नहीं A sticky substance found in the picture of a carnivorous plant which thrives in the Rosarian lowlands.
Ugh! Reeks like a chocobo's arse. Oh, I don't suppose the Argo will mind as long as he stays above the waves.
Argo? So your boat has a name? I didn't know.
Yeah. Same as my old man. He was a ferryman himself back before the blight came. The boat's all I have left of him. And thanks to you, he'll sail another day.
Increases attack by 12. Awarded to soldiers for unparalleled displays of courage on the field of battle. The feeling of accomplishment it enkindles in the recipient's heart is thought to enhance future performance.
Yeah, Sid. How is it I never see you on the ferry? Forget I asked.
जादू फास्ट ट्रैवल का जादू चलो अब जाके गैब से बात करते हैं उतना भी दूर नहीं है चलो तो पास में ही है
Gav should be back by now.
Yes, he should, and he is. Ooh, एक नया.
But none Dawnbreakers have returned.
They'll be fine. Sid wouldn't be here if they weren't.
Ah, Clive! Oh, I've missed that scowl.
Where's my report?
What, no kind words for your old pal Gav?
If it's kind words you're after, you're fishing in the wrong barrel. Now sit down, you fool.
So, you remember how quick the Empire was to occupy the Dominion after the fall of Drake's head? And how pissed off all the other nations were that they didn't think to do it first?
Half a century of independence gone at the whim of a madman. So much for their bloody treaty.
Clearly, the promise of unblighted land and the world's supply of crystals was too much for his radiance to resist. And now the Republic's finally decided to follow suit, using liberation as an excuse to declare war on Sambrek. Lined up right outside the Dominion's gates as we speak, looking to starve the Imperials into submission.
And now all eyes are on the Strait of Author.
Well, the two nations beat their shields. The rest sharpen their daggers, ready to set upon the war-weary victor. They'll never see us coming. It's time we moved on the mother crystals. Four mother crystals remain in Storm and Ash. Drake's Breath near Ironhome. Drake's Fang in Dhalmekia. Drake's Spine in Waloed. And Drake's Tail here in the Crystalline Dominion.
With the bulk of the Republican army marching to Twinside, Drake's Fang will be left exposed.
That is exactly the move Kupka would anticipate. And if there is anything these past 5 years have taught us, is that he loves his traps. There is one place, however, where nobody will be expecting us to go.
Drake's Breath.
There's a shitload of sea between us and it, and I've never been much of a swimmer.
I have an acquaintance in Port Isolde who may be able to help.
Who's that then?
My uncle, Byron Rossfield.
Lord Byron Rossfield of the Seven High Houses, the trade magnate with holdings in over 100 cities. Wait, Rossfield. And you're a Rossfield, of course.
My uncle's name gave him his start in the world, but it was his acumen which earned him his fortune, along with a handsome fleet of ships.
Well, it's settled then. What are we waiting for, eh? Huh?
ऑटो काउंटर इज नाउ ओपन. क्या है ऑटो काउंटर में? द फॉलोइंग हाइडवे फैसिलिटीज आर नाउ अवेलेबल. अलायंट रिपोर्ट्स, ठीक है. द पैट्रन्स विस्पर, ये नया. द हंट बोर्ड, ऑल थ्री आर लोकेटेड नियर ऑटो इन द मेस. बाउंटी बोर्ड टाइप का सही है. वो मार्क्स के लिए होगा. पर कुछ भी करने से पहले मैं देखना चाहता हूँ. यहाँ बाबा गलत बटन दबा रहा हूँ. क्लोज कर दो.
We're waiting for indeed.
लोकल मैप. यप, रीडिंग टेबल में कुछ है.
Think it's all right to touch him?
I don't know. You go first.
बोलो. बंदा बहुत शांत है. अच्छा बंदा है. गुड बॉय. Argul good boy है. A bird by any other name. Forgive my insistence on writing you these silly letters. Would that we had more time to speak to each other in person, but for every day we spend together it feels as though we must suffer another two apart. I'm gladdened to hear that your most unexpected reunion with Ambrosia, or should I say Whiteheart? I'm gladdened to hear of your most unexpected reunion. You told me once how your Chocobo sacrificed herself to protect you that night at Phoenix Gate. And here, so many years later, we find she has spent her life doing that exact same thing, defending others. Some things never change, do they, Clive? यहाँ पे फिर कहाँ पे है? ये रहा. Ambrosia stack, a saddle and blinders crafted especially for Clive's childhood Chocobo Ambrosia. Even after being separated from her master, the noble steed served the people of Rosaria in his stead, protecting the defenseless from the merciless, just as a good shield should. धीरे धीरे करके ये भर जाएगा पूरा. ओ, यहाँ पे क्या है? ओह, गॉब्लिन कॉइन, ब्लैक ब्लड और कुछ और था. और साइड क्वेस्ट है यहाँ पे. हाँ, मैं क्या आगे बढ़ने से पहले यहाँ के भी नहीं. जर्नी टू हॉक्स क्राई क्लिफ वो ख़त्म करने के बाद फिर मैं साइड मिशंस करूँगा. द गैदरिंग स्टॉर्म ख़त्म करता हूँ.
I hear there's trouble in Rosaria.
उसके बाद देखता हूँ. मुझे लगता हम अभी किसी आइकॉन से लड़ेंगे. टाइटन.
As ragged as goat's locks.
चलो.
So Mather's all right.
Yep. Others weren't so lucky though.
मैं सोचा था यहाँ पे ही अंदर कहीं पे. क्यों दबाता हूँ बार बार ये? हाँ. ट्रैवल. और कहीं जाने ही नहीं दे रहा था वैसे भी.
Do you think it was wise to leave, Gav? He didn't seem pleased.
I needed his eyes and nose in Dhalmekia. I'm not about to let Kupka take us unawares. Besides, he has a knack for that sort of thing.
That he does.
And wasn't it Sid who said that matters such as these are best left to dominance? Especially should one of his beloved opportunities to grow and change present itself.
I always knew that I would return one day. Return to Ironhome.
For what?
After learning the truth, you were given the chance to face your past. If I am to continue at your side, I must do the same.
We will face it together then.
To the end.
Come on.
Bloodlines.
How far do you think your mother's reach extends? Will we find the same tragedy in the south as we did at Martha's Rest?
More than likely. Which is why we should hurry. There are still many settlements between here and Port Isolde. We visit as many as we can and hear their stories. Starting with the village of Amber.
Okay. आजा Ambrosia. चलते हैं.
Faster.
मुझे किसी से नहीं लड़ना. तुम अपने आप के खिलाफ ही लड़ते रहो. मैं तो भाग रहा हूँ यहाँ से।
Mockery of justice is what it is. Lord Elwyn would never have stood for this.
Quiet, you! Nothing we're loyalists.
Jill, look.
Rosaria must be cleansed of the stain which befouls her, that she might rise once again from the ashes to welcome a new dawn. 'Twould be a pity to make examples of you all, for the transgressions of but a handful.
Of course, your lordship. You shall have our full cooperation.
What business could the Black Shields have in a village this small? There's barely room to hide a bearer.
Then they must be here for something else.
You fancy dancing a gallows jig like the miller's son?
All right. I heard you the first time.
ये इनके कमर में क्या है? ये पता नहीं, पहले बताया है तो मुझे याद नहीं आ रहा। इसमें क्या रखते हैं? क्रिस्टल्स या कुछ रखते हैं क्या? ये क्या है?
Welcome, stranger.
Cobalt tassels increases limit brick generation amount by 6% when taking damage. Cobalt is the color of the blade that feeds my pain. Traditional battle invocation. 24,000 बाप रे
Seeing you again.
But what was all that about earlier?
You haven't heard? Someone's been stirring up trouble. There have been attacks on the garrison, supplies stolen. They even say a Black Shield was murdered. The Empire wants answers, and what the Empire wants, the Empire gets.
Don't they just?
Keep your ears open, eh? The Black Shields will pay good coin for information on the culprits. You'd have to be dull as a sack of stones to think you could take on the Empire. What with their 100 full legions?
100? I heard it were 1,000.
तो फिर किसी ने गैरसन पे हमला किया। नए कैरेक्टर से मिलने वाला है या पुराने कैरेक्टर से?
Run along now, before one of the boys starts thinking you're something you're not.
Word is, Port Isolde's closed her gates to all but the Highborn, and now a great camp sprung up along the walls.
ये रहा दूसरा विलेज।
You seen him, didn't you?
I'm sorry.
The Black Shields. Just now. You seen it, didn't you? At least I think there was a Black Shield.
Was this the first time they visited the village?
What are you? Amber's the arse end of nowhere. And they thought we might be harboring firebrands. Huh. If only we were. I might have turned them in and become a Black Shield myself.
You don't think these firebrands the Empire is looking for could be us, do you?
I don't know. But we need to find out.
मुझे लगता है वो जोशुआ जो है ना, उसके लोगों को लोग क्या बोलते हैं? फायरब्रांड्स बोलते हैं। क्योंकि क्लाइव अकेला नहीं है जो आग का इस्तेमाल करता है।
Greetings, friend. We are travelers.
I know that. What do you want?
We couldn't help noticing those Imperial soldiers who were here earlier.
Don't you go telling these strangers a thing. I speak for the people of this village, and we have nothing more to say to you. You are to leave Amber and never come back.
May I at least ask why?
I don't know who you are or what brings you here, but your presence puts us all in grave danger. The Empire is a harsh master. Its demands are great, and its justice swift. But as long as we keep our heads down and pay our tributes, we are left alone. Some might call it submission. But if it will spare my people the Viceroy's wrath, then I will gladly submit. This village will not become another East Pool.
Then we shall be on our way. These people live with a knife to their throats. In the mistaken belief that if they cooperate, my mother will show them mercy.
Obedience bought with fear.
Are you all right?
Sorry, It's nothing. We still don't know who the Black Shields are looking for.
Well, whoever they are, the Imperials deem them worth pursuing to the back of beyond. But other than Martha, who else in Rosaria would have the courage to stand against the Empire? A new ally would certainly be welcome. Can we find them before the Imperials do? Perhaps the next village will yield more answers.
Perhaps.
Port Isolde. ओके लॉस्ट ब्लूम नहीं, हम सीधे जा रहे हैं अब पोर्ट इसोल्डे में.
Run like the wind. This pass will take us through the mountains.
And directly into the path of whoever or whatever lurks here.
Okay, किसी के साथ लड़ाई होगी क्या? बहुत अच्छा.
Ever since the Apodatory, we've seen more and more of these echoes.
What do you think is waking them? The mother crystal's collapse?
I have an idea. You're not going to like it.
मेरे हिसाब से अल्टीमा इन्हें वापस जगा रहा है शायद. पर क्या बोलते हैं, जिल को वो क्यों पसंद नहीं आएगा वो आंसर कि अल्टीमा उसे उठा रहा है इन्हें. इसका मतलब अगर शायद अल्टीमा नहीं है, कोई और उन्हें उठा रहा है.
Time to fight.
Make it look easy.
सिंपल. ये ऐसे ही आते जाएंगे क्या यहाँ पे मुझ पे हमला करने के लिए? ये रहे. और ये पूरा लंबा यहाँ पे भी मेरे हिसाब से लड़ाई होती है अगर जाता तो. और वो सारे स्किप कर दिया. इन तीनों को मैं करूँगा. अलविदा. ये मजा आ रहा है यार ये वाले इग्निशन का इस्तेमाल करके. इतने ज़्यादा एनिमीज जो हैं उन सबको लाइन अप कर दो, एक जगह ला लो. ये इग्निशन और वो स्कारलेट विंग्स था शायद उस स्किल का नाम, वो दोनों बहुत मदद करते हैं.
More of my mother's men.
Oh. अबे यार, क्या नीचा नीचा. और ये हवा में अब नहीं है. हवा में बहुत उड़ रहा था ये बंदा. बहुत मार रहे भी थे मुझे आग के साथ, फायरबॉल के साथ. इनके साथ भी वही करूंगा. क्या मजा आता है यार ऐसे करने में.
Blood, Clive.
And still wet.
You were told to stay in your homes.
The Black Shields.
You know who we are. And still, you would bear your steel. Why then? We owe you our thanks. You have saved us the trouble of an interrogation. To dwell in darkness, that we may purge the night and welcome lasting dawn. On these, our swords we swear.
Say that again. I'll show you.
Oh,
a
ये अभी
true
हुआ नहीं
sight
है।
of Rosaria.
क्या सब मरेंगे तो नहीं? और मारो ना, ये भी नहीं मरेगा, उतना ज़्यादा डैमेज नहीं कर रहा है। सारे लाइन में और जाओ। जाओ। वाह भाई वाह। दोनों को मार दिया।
Tell me what I want and the end will be swift. Who are you looking for?
Why, you? We come bearing a message. Your friends have been found. The branded you freed from our camps. They await you in Ordeal. Guardians of the Flame.
Those are Old Hill's gates.
Then we hurry.
ओके, तो हम पहले ओल्ड हिल जाते हैं, फोर्ट इसाल्टो की जगह। हमारी माँ क्या बोलते हैं, क्लाइव की माँ फोर्ट इसाल्टो में ही होगी क्या? जानना चाहता हूँ उसके खिलाफ अगर मिलेंगे तो कैसा होगा रिएक्शन, दोनों क्लाइव और क्लाइव की माँ का।
Find something, boy. Death.
Found her.
This was my mother's doing.
But why? Why would anyone?
I don't know. I never truly understood her. But
this?
Oh, Clive.
I will learn what madness drives her, and I will end it. We should go.
Yes.
We can't leave them here like this.
We won't. But if the Black Shields have made it this far south, they may already be in Port Isolde.
No use calling Ambrosia now.
पोर्ट इसोल्डे यहाँ पे है. हम कहाँ पे जाने वाले थे? माथास नेस ये सब छोड़ो. इधर ही जाने वाले थे. यही था. यहाँ पे है पोर्ट इसोल्डे, इतना दूर. पर लकीली मेरे पास एम्ब्रोजिया है. पानी मेले की फीमेल है एक्चुअली. पर एम्ब्रोजिया है.
We're approaching Buick Bridge. Though I doubt the Empire would let us cross over to Rosalith.
Fly, Ambrosia.
चलो. ग्राफिक्स के साथ क्या हो रहा है? गेट. इतना आसान हो जाएगा.
Back to the stables, girl.
उन्होंने रोका हुआ है रास्ता.
I did, Mummy. I could hear him shouting from down the road.
Hush now. You didn't hear nothing.
They tell us there's a curfew, but then refuse us passage back to our homes.
We won't survive another night.
Passage to the provincial capital is restricted to Imperial Army personnel.
The gates are closed. Be gone.
They're all Rosarian.
But this is their home.
I'm hungry.
The Empire would have us move in the Deadlands.
You find no succor to the South Travellers. The Empire has seen fit to banish us from our own land.
Okay. Oh यार. अभी भी नहीं बुला सकता मैं अपने
Don't go
चौकों
thinking
को.
you'll find refuge in the houses outside Port Isolde. The place is a wretched hive of thieves and blackguards.
मैं अपने चौकों को कब बुला सकता हूँ यार?
Ambrosia won't help me here.
यहाँ पे से. Finally, Ambrosia को बुला सकता हूँ.
Let's go.
कोई लड़ने की जरूरत नहीं है. सीधे उसकी तरफ चलो. मेन क्वेस्ट खत्म करने की तरफ. ये इधर जो दिख रहा आगे उधर जाने का. हाँ, गेट आ गया ना.
What happened to this place?
My mother happened. The nobles who lived here didn't stand a chance. Let's hope my uncle fared better.
Okay. सही में सुनसान लग रहा है ये पूरा. मोस्ट प्रॉब्ली सुनसान नहीं है पर पूरा देखो पेड़ पौधे हो गए हैं रास्ते पे.
That's the main gate. And it looks like we're not the only ones hoping to get in.
Let us pass! My children are starving!
Viceroy's dogs they are! You can't ignore us forever!
Let us in, or we'll die on your doorstep.
Better out there than in here.
Oh, get enough
Fuck off.
you chinless bastards! Those crystals belong to us all!
I said, where were you, filth?
Back to your style! Cut you down where you stand! Destroy it!
No chance of slipping through unnoticed. We'll need to find another way in. I thought we might be able to reason with the guards. Or at least bribe them.
I suspect everyone in that crowd thought the same. Was that the only way in?
Officially, yes. Strictly speaking, no. My uncle once told me that the nobles had tunnels built, so that they could visit town without having to walk amongst the rabble. The Lazarus. We'll find our way into the city there.
If you're sure. The entire place looked abandoned. Do you think it's safe?
As long as it is abandoned.
Okay, तो हम अभी उसके अंदर जाएंगे. Black light burns. देखे तो कैसे जाएंगे उसके अंदर?
We haven't seen a single black shield since Old Hill.
Maybe they found who they were looking for.
Find an entrance to the Lazarus district. वो दरवाजे के पास से है apparently. तोड़ेंगे क्या दरवाजे हम इस अंदर घुसने के लिए? हाँ? बस खोल दिया हमने. हाँ भाई वाह.
This is nothing like I remember it.
How quickly a crown can lose its luster.
Okay, तो रास्ता क्या है? Find the Lazarus, enter the Lazarus district. मेरे हिसाब से बस जो एक ही रास्ता उधर ही चलते हैं.
Not abandoned then.
Oi! Visitors!
Apologies. We'll show ourselves out.
और मारा एक मारा. यार आवाज की फिर से प्रॉब्लम होने लग गई. Enemies bested.
I've only ever seen one man fight like that. And he's long dead.
Then perhaps it's time you joined him.
The blessing of the Phoenix. I was there when you died. Huh? Forgive me, my lord. I knew not whom I addressed. You have naught to fear from us. Founder, it really is you.
It is. So wait.
We can speak inside.
And those who wouldn't bend the knee?
We left before the Empire could make examples of us, though we didn't go far. And we banded together to form the Guardians of the Flame soon after. Alas, there is only so much a handful of aging shields can do against the might of an empire. But we've seen to it that their stay has been anything but pleasant. Of late, though, we've had our hands full just trying to keep the Duchy's few remaining bearers out of the Imperial's clutches.
The Cullings. We saw what happened in Old Hill.
Aye. The foul work of the Black Shields and their mistress.
You mean my mother? But it doesn't make sense. Even knowing what I know about her. Her hatred for bearers was no secret, but she wouldn't have been ignorant of their value to the realm.
No offense, my lord. But in case you haven't noticed, the Lady Annabella couldn't care less about the realm. She barely even cares for her own home. That much has been plain since the slaughter at Eastpool. And, since granting the Holy Emperor a new heir, her obsession with bearers only seems to have grown. As to why, I don't know. Maybe she can't bear the thought of anyone having the power to challenge her beloved son.
Her son?
Sir Wade, the Black Shields have broken camp. They march in full force for Buick Bridge.
Then so do we.
Make ready.
This is their main host. If we remove the head, perhaps we can prevent what happened at the docks from happening somewhere else. If I do nothing, then the blood of their next victims will be on my hands.
Yours and ours. We too have witnessed the crimes these men who dare call themselves shields have committed in my mother's name. It cannot be allowed to continue. We must put a stop to this madness.
We must. So let us go with you. For the good of Rosaria.
I was hoping you'd say that. Very well. If that is your wish, I would be honored to serve at your side.
And we at yours.
So, Wade, let us do our duty.
With pleasure, my lord.
I imagine this endeavor will require more than just our wits.
Then let's hope Sir Wade has a good quartermaster.
Oh, buck up, man. At least you're not dead.
I suppose we owe you our thanks. You spared us when you could have just as easily sent us to the mud.
वही मैं सोच रहा था enemies bested क्यों लिखा है इस बार? Usually enemies slain या वैसे कुछ आता है.
We'll show them that the fire in our hearts is not so easily quenched.
The Black Shields won't know what hit them.
संदूक इसलिए आया bested क्योंकि हमने उन्हें मारा नहीं. इसलिए नहीं मारा क्योंकि स्टोरी के हिसाब से वो हमारे allies हैं.
Allow me to tend to your needs, my lord.
And dealing damage वो बुरा नहीं है. वही है ना. माफ करना एक मिनट. मेरे ने जो रखे वो मुझे पसंद हैं.
As you wish, my lord. I will be here should you need aught else.
क्या निकाला इसने equip करने के लिए उसे? रामू चैनल. ओह ये एक बार भी खोला ही नहीं था जब से ये सिड मरा है. ओह नहीं 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 Flames of Rebirth reduces, वो अच्छा है. Ignition damage by 12%. Call it Cyclone. Flames of Rebirth को कम करने की जगह ये काफी जल्दी ये क्या बोलते हैं? आ गया वो? Rising Flames नहीं. कौन सा लगाने वाला था मैं? Ignition. इसे लगाना ज़्यादा अच्छा होगा. ये इसका कूलडाउन भी काफ़ी कम है और मज़ा भी आता है इसे इस्तेमाल करने में. इन दोनों को बेचना है. इनविक्टस और कोरल सोर्ड. और एबिलिटीज भी देख लेता हूँ थोड़ा. लिमिट बढ़ाऊँ या फिर कहाँ है? राइजिंग फ्लेम्स नहीं. ओके इसके थोड़े करता हूँ ना. डेडली एम्ब्रेस को छोड़ो. इसके भी थोड़े लेवल अप कर देता हूँ. चलो अब जाके मारते हैं और ब्लैक शील्ड्स को.
Tell us then, Sir Wade. What is your plan?
Nothing fancy. You, Lady Jill and I make for Buett Bridge and provoke the main host at their encampment. Sensing an opportunity to end the Guardians, the Black Shields will call for reinforcements, who will be met from the rear by parties of my brothers hidden throughout the surrounding hills. This will allow us to wage battle on the bridge without fear of being overwhelmed. While the Black Shields have an advantage in numbers, you see, they prefer to fight in small units, which we can use to our advantage.
How small exactly?
Small enough, now that I have you and Lady Jill for company. I doubt I could have done this on my own.
But until we arrived, that was your plan. You haven't changed a bit.
So Wade, the bearers from Old Ed have been laid to rest.
Very good. Now make ready for battle.
As you command.
Thank you, Sir Wade. Perhaps now they will find peace.
There is but one thing which will grant them peace. Putting an end to the Black Shields.
And so we shall.
Black or white? Black and yellow, black and yellow. Throughout the main scenario, Clive will often be joined by various companions who are keen to lend their assistance. However, depending on Clive's destination, they may choose to remain behind at the hideaway. Okay. Make for Buett Bridge. कौन आ रहा है इस बार मेरे साथ?
May the blessing of the Phoenix go with you.
Okay, दोनों के दोनों आते हैं. सही है.
How long have you been pursuing the Black Shields?
Since they burned their first village. We tracked down the bastards responsible and fed their corpses to Stillwind. Suffice to say, that got their attention. It's been a game of cat and mouse ever since.
थोड़ा और बात कर लो यार, मुझे पसंद होता है जब ये कंपेनियंस बात करते हैं. ये भाग गए उधर से. भाग गए जो उधर Buett ब्रिज के पास है.
The bastards are lucky I didn't have my axe.
कुछ भी नहीं कर पाता तो एक्स होता भी तो.
There they are. On your command, my lord.
और मैं तैयार हूँ इनके खिलाफ लड़ने के लिए.
What is it now? I told you!
We bear a message for the Vicereine. From the Guardians of the Flame.
Ha! You presume to tell us that a pair of filthy vagabonds a woman, and a dog could guard aught against the might of the Black Shields. Then come! Die along with your flame! For Rosaria!
For Rosaria!
Your petty revolution ends here. On these our swords we swear.
मारो तो आपने सोर्स में करो मारो
Bloody hell! Reinforcements from the far bank!
Another wyvern to fight their battles for them.
Oh shit. Yeah. और मिनी स्ट्राइकर हो गया अबे कहाँ जा रहा है ओह एक ऑप्शन सही में
Works. The Imperials aren't taking any chances. I can't say I'm flattered.
जल्दी से मारते जाओ इसे और अब ये मेरा अबे इसको मारना था यार ये कहाँ चले गया था पता नहीं इसको मेरा क्या लगता ओह मर गया Dragoon.
A noble stand, albeit a misguided one. In taking it, you have but proven our point. That this land is in dire need of cleansing.
और नहीं बाबा बच्चा थोड़ा ओह शिट मेरे पास कोई हील ही नहीं है हील लेना भूल गया मैं आ जा इसका लगभग हो गया ये हो गया ना इसको जल्दी से करो
So Wade,
There's no one left to keep them occupied. We need to finish this.
You mean finish him?
Oh, मारते जाओ Oh shit, he's stunning. आने क्या मार दिया तू आना चाहता था मैंने लड़ाई की मर जाओ Oh shit. ये मिनी स्टैगर हो गया इसका अबे यार मैं मरने वाला हूँ Shit. मारना है तो अभी मारना होगा इसे। मैं हील लेना भूल गया यार। तो सबसे जरूरी है याद रखना है वो हील्स को। वेल लेवल अप हुआ, हेल्थ फुल कर देगा ये लेवल अप।
I don't see any more.
Nor do I. The plan worked.
It did. It bloody worked. We sent every last one of the rotten bastards straight to the mud. My, Lord, perhaps this will be enough to stop the Cullings. For the time being, at least.
Perhaps. Though I doubt my mother will take this loss well. She'll move swiftly to see her minions' ranks replenished.
And then it will all begin again. I often wonder if the nation we once knew is gone for good. Her fields rot. Her people starve. We battled to preserve the flame that was, but for every foe we fell, another springs up in its place. Yet be that as it may, it is still our home, and we must fight for it. As we always have, and always will. For as long as the Firebird's flame burns in our hearts, the Duchy cannot die. And her loyal subjects may dream of a day when the Rosarian standard flies over Rosalith once more.
So wait,
Think we should fall back to Port Isolde before the garrison sends reinforcements? A sound strategy, my lord.
Black or white?
And how long has my uncle been funding you and your comrades' endeavors?
Since the beginning. Lord Byron was the first person I turned to after forming the Guardians. And had I known of this tunnel back then, I wouldn't almost have been hanged by the city guard for trying to sneak over the wall.
I suppose a formal request for an audience would have appeared suspicious.
And appearances must be maintained. Were the Vice-Regency to catch wind of Lord Byron's involvement in our movement, they'd seize his estate and send him to the gallows, where he would be of no use to anyone. And so, though it sickens him to the soul, he plays the part of the loyal lord, knowing that one wrong move might prove his downfall. It is why he remains ever vigilant. Don't be surprised if he refuses you an audience, especially since you're famously dead.
Then I will have to think of a way to prove that I am neither wraith nor wrongdoer.
I might have something which could help with the latter. It's the mark of the Guardians. Display it, and those who love Rosaria will know where your loyalties lie.
Burnt blade.
I shall wear it with pride.
Be sure that you do. I don't want my men attacking you again. Unless you deserve it. If only Sir Tyler could have been here to see you. Or the Lord Commander.
Thank you, Sir Wade. If there is ever anything you need.
I know. Go on now, my lord.
How accommodating. Do you really think they believe we are who we say we are?
Not a chance.
Right to guess, my uncle believes we're imposters here to rob him, and means to string us up himself.
Imagine my surprise when I was told my nephew had come to visit. Clive Rosefield died long ago. And for uttering his name here, you shall pay with your tongue! You would mock me as well?
It is I, Sir Crandall of Camelot, loyal servant to Her Serene Holiness, Saint Sybil the Unshod. Meadow, thou vile sorcerer, for thy crimes against church and crown, I shall have thy head.
Curse thee, infectious flax wench. Even in death, must thou plague me still? Very well. I shall open the gates of hell, that thou might see thy charge once more.
Bravo, Uncle. You're still the finest Meadow in the twins.
Oh, Clive, my dear boy, it's really you. You always were fond of that scene from The Saint of the Sanctuary. Never did let me play Sir Crandall.
I have a favor to ask, Uncle Byron.
Rutherford, inform the kitchens. There'll be guests. We dine immediately.
But, Uncle...
You can't very well regale me with the tale of your miraculous preservation on an empty stomach. Go on, sit. See that you use the good plates, Rutherford. So you arrived late to one of her cullings, did you? Since becoming Vicereine, Annabella has been a constant thorn in Rosaria's side, but these atrocities are a new low. Something has changed. Quite what, I don't know, but the woman we knew is gone, and a monster sits in her place.
A monster?
For better or worse, I've been charged with governing this town, and thus must maintain the illusion of obedience. That's all I can do to aid Wade and his merry band of revolutionaries.
So he's told us. You have risked much for Rosaria. Our nation will be forever in your debt.
Your father and your forefathers fought to defend is no more. Perhaps it would be otherwise had I the courage of my brother. All right, if it's a ship you require, a ship you shall have. I've a galley in port, but recently relieved of her cargo. She can be outfitted for the voyage in a matter of weeks.
So you believe us, then? About everything?
Believe you? Ha! Only a fool would believe even half of the things you claim.
But until tonight, only a fool would have believed my nephew still lived. And besides, I have it on good authority that Clive is telling the truth.
Whose authority?
Your own, of course. You've always been a terrible liar.
Is that true?
It's not untrue.
Let's say no more about it, eh? It wouldn't do to linger on my nephew's greatest failing. The one thing I cannot believe, though, is all this about you being Sid. You were always such a good boy, but now you're quite the outlaw. Which, if I'm not mistaken, would make me an outlaw's uncle. Right then, who shall we pillage first? Rutherford, fetch me my cutlass. This will be fun.
Over there. Go on.
She's a fine ship, isn't she?
Once outfitted, she'll bear us across the boiling sea to Drustinus in the space of 3 days. Something on your mind?
Monsters. When I served the Iron Kingdom, I did so because I saw no other choice. Because once they learned that the lash would not move me, they turned it on those who could. And so I became their puppet. I let them pull my strings, telling myself it was not my hand that swung the sword, but another's. I removed myself from the truth so I wouldn't feel the pain it caused. And before I knew it, I no longer felt anything. Anything at all. I had become a monster.
Jill.
I don't want to be a monster, Clive. Do you understand? I want to choose a different path, a better path. To live on my own terms. But before I can do that, I need to come to terms with my past.
And when you do, I'll be standing there with you, just as you stood with me.
Thank you, Clive. I must atone for my sins. Only then, when it's done, will the monster cease to be.
Just promise me that you won't die with it. Now, let's get some sleep. The journey back to Benamir is long, and there is much to tell the others.
Few are the days when the air about the city's pyres is not alive with the barks of busy stevedores loading. Stevedores क्या होता है? Loading and unloading vessels hailing from all corners of the realm and beyond. इधर ही जा सकता हूँ हाइड अवे. Here be monsters.
Only the Founder knows what awaits us in the Iron Kingdom. But Vivian could probably make an educated guess.
That monster's taken quite a lot.
Deadlands wouldn't be half as bad without all the bloody dust.
A flame none brighter. My Lord Marquis, I ask once again for you to forgive my men for your welcome back at the Lazarus, but certainly you can understand that you were the last person any of us were expecting to see at our gates. In the short time since our reunion, you have shown yourself to be the self-same man I followed into Stillwind those many years ago, a true bearer of your father's legacy. If only Sir Tyler, the Lord Commander, and all the others who were lost that night were still with us to see how bright your flame now burns. To you and your cause, I hereby pledge the sword of the Guardians, and am proud to stand alongside you once again. All quiet in the Dominion. The Dalmex and the Imperials are at a standoff. They snarl at each other, fangs bared like slum curs, but neither wants to make the first move. It's almost as if they both realize what a stinking pile of chocobo shit they've stepped in. If I were a man to lay wager, I would put my copper on this conflict now not playing out anytime soon. I shall keep you apprised, Gab. मैं कहीं और जा सकता हूँ क्या अभी? Yes. तो थोड़ी चीज़ें करना चाहता हूँ. मैं जानना चाहता हूँ ये 5 साल क्या किया. ये काफ़ी लोगों ने, जैसे वो ब्लैकस्मिथ और ये शैरन. ब्लैकथॉर्न है इसका नाम.
What do you need? Things here ain't too bad.
Things here ain't too bad, I suppose. I've got a decent hammer, a decent anvil, and an apprentice that knows his hammer from his cock. Oh, and the furnace is all right and all, thanks to old Sid's bellows. The gods only know how I would keep the coal hot enough out here on the mere without them. Not with bloody crystals, that's for sure.
Nah.
No, I reckon you won't find a forge like this one anywhere else in the Twins, and I count myself lucky to work with. Count myself lucky to work with. Work with it होना चाहिए शायद, या work with भी चलता है शायद. Thanks for keeping me on. You need anything, you give us a shout.
You've forgotten already?
पूरा का पूरा dialogue ही बोल दिया इसका.
Because I haven't.
Because I haven't. It was a right pain in the arse getting this place into shape, especially with the mess we were in. Not that it was anything new for those of us who put the old hideaway together. Still, that don't mean I intend on doing it again.
What's that for you, dear?
नया है क्या? कुछ मिल रहा ही नहीं है यार. गियर का कुछ ही नहीं सही में. Oh damn, एक और है उधर. ये हमें कुछ और नया मिलेगा ये करने पे. और वहाँ पे एक साइड क्वेस्ट. तो पहले साइड क्वेस्ट करते हैं और फिर वो देखते हैं जो भी ऐड होगा नया उससे. और 2 साइड क्वेस्ट है.
And what can I do for you? Well, you won't hear me complaining.
It's even roomier than the old one was. Got my own stores, my own little counter. And thanks to you lot fighting the good fight, plenty of demand for me wares.
The only drawback?
The only drawback's the constant bloody racket. If it's not Doris and Otto barking their orders, it's Blackthorn and Bardolph banging away day and night.
Still,
if a pain in the earhole surprise I have to pay to be Sid the outlaw's partner in crime, I would say I've got myself a bargain.
coin purse weighing you down?
कुछ भी करने से पहले. कहाँ है जो मुझे चाहिए? तो 3-4.
You're rubbing me blind, you know. You'll not find a better price than that.
Yes. Oh, 20,000 में क्या कर रहा हूँ?
You're rubbing me blind, you know. Is that all?
Oh, पिछले 5 साल का भी
Well,
पूछा है ना.
don't just stand there gawping.
Has it really been 5 years since we left the old place? How time
I
flies.
remember it like it was yesterday.
We were all waiting to treat Sid to a hero's welcome when Kupka's lot turned up. Not that we knew it was them. They just poured in like a plague of rats, cutting down anyone and anything that stood in their way. Blood and bodies everywhere there was, and a voice crying out for Sid to save us in the midst of it all. I'll never forget those cries, try as I might.
You're our leader now, Clive.
Promise me you won't let anything like that happen again. Promise me that come what may, Sid will save us. चलो सब कुछ ले भी लिया,
Try not
बात
to
भी
get
हो गई.
yourself killed, eh?
Welcome back, Sid. How am I getting on? Ah, about as well as you'd expect of a barmaid pouring sour ale for penniless outlaws in the middle of the Deadlands. And it'd be worse than that if Molly here didn't make the best stew this side of Stone here, even if it is mostly just yesterday's leavings. Don't tell her you heard that from me, though.
ये मैं करना चाहूँगा कभी, अभी नहीं पर.
Oh, you're not leaving already, are you? What can I get you, Sid?
मालूम है क्या? अभी करता हूँ.
As if setting our people free wasn't enough. Good news, everyone. The casks have been liberated. Here's to Sid. Oh, keep your mug handy.
भैया सबको पिला दिया.
Over there's the best thing to happen to the hideaway since well, ever. she's got a smile like sunshine, and she can pull an ale like no other.
और कोई ये बात करने के लिए नहीं है तो ये युवान किचन हैंड से बात कर लेता हूँ और पहला साइड क्वेस्ट शुरू करता हूँ यहाँ का.
I didn't take you for a scholarly van.
Oh, this? Well, it's Valisthea, a culinary pilgrimage. I borrowed it from old tomes. Seems there's no creature in the realm so foul it can't be cooked up into something delicious.
Think I'll stick to the unfoul ones, thanks.
Oh, where's your sense of adventure, Sid? Honestly, one glance at these recipes, and even you would trade in your sword for a butcher's cleaver. From spit roasts to sweetmeats, this book has them all. What I wouldn't give to bring these recipes to life.
If it's my blessing you're hoping for, then by all means.
Well, I'm no hunter, Sid. The first ton of worm I came across would be the death of me. But you're made of sterner stuff. Would you help me resurrect one of these recipes?
How could I refuse?
Something tells me you won't be taking no for an answer. Fine, I'll help.
Fantastic! Thank you.
So, dare I ask what's on the menu?
Chance's Stew. It was once a favourite among the gourmands of Oriflamme, if the author is to be believed. Though Molly's never heard of it. The only problem is that while the recipe is extremely detailed in most respects, it's infuriatingly cryptic as to the main ingredient. A beast, no doubt. Most likely something that would make easy work of a simple cook with more broth than brawn, but unwanted violets. I've no idea what they might be.
Does the book say anything else?
Well, only that the sweetest violets sprout atop the bed of roses.
Roses. Rosaria, perhaps? One of the butchers in Martha's Rest might know something. I'll ask next time I'm there.
और next time अभी होगा.
Nothing but unwanted violets will do, if I'm to resurrect this stew. As to what they might be, as you say, that is a question for a butcher.
ठीक है, अब वो अभी जाके करते हैं. मैं मॉली कौन है मुझे याद नहीं. फिर से गलत. Martha's Rest. ओह, मुझे लगा था मार्थास रेस्ट के अंदर होगा जो भी होगा वो बुचर या जो भी, पर नहीं. और ये पूरे एरिया का नाम मार्थास वेस्ट है.
Those of us who are still here have to look after each other, don't we? So, about the price of them turnips.
Perhaps I'd live longer if I bade this town farewell. But I've grown rather fond of the old place.
ये रहा पूछा.
Ah, welcome. Times may be hard, but if you got the gill, I got the goods. What can I do you for?
Unwanted violets, if you have them. Though I'd gladly settle for learning what they are if you don't.
Why, I haven't heard folk call them that since I was a lad. You're looking for scorpion tails. Unwanted violets is what folk used to call them back in the day. They turn a wicked purple when you boil them up, hence the name. Used to chuck them in the pot when there weren't nothing else on offer, when there was a war on, that sort of thing. Thankfully, times aren't yet as hard as that. And even if they were, you wouldn't find anyone selling them these days.
Do the scorpions still live nearby?
There's two. 3 reeds would be your best bet, if memory serves.
Thank you. You've been most helpful.
You'll find your scorpions in the swamps below the rest. Just take the tails, mind. It's the only part worth eating.
और कहाँ पे जाना है? मेरे हिसाब से इधर से जाऊँ तो ज़्यादा तेज होगा. यहाँ पे से जाऊँगा और फिर एम्ब्रोसिया को बुलाऊँगा.
Stay sharp. We don't know when those bastards will be back.
Well, we do know one thing. They'll be getting a proper Rosarian welcome.
Okay.
Don't you go causing any trouble now.
हाँ टेंशन मत ले. अभी भी नहीं.
Not here.
अब.
Come on. Fly, Ambrosia.
मैं नोट तो नहीं सकती. Jacobos ostriches की तरह. पर ये इंस्पायर मेरे हिसाब से हुए थे उन एक एक्सटिंक्ट बर्ड थी या चिड़िया. उसका नाम अभी याद नहीं आ रहा. टेरर बर्ड्स उससे इंस्पायर्ड है डेफिनेटली.
Be safe.
Scorpions.
और
I know what I'm up against.
इन सबको मारने की कोशिश करता हूँ. Nope, definitely नहीं. Shit. हमला कर ले. और ये मरा. में क्या? अलविदा. The tails of certain species of scorpions are prized as a delicacy. The trace amounts of poison remaining in their flesh tending them a certain piquancy. कोई आइडिया नहीं उस शब्द का मतलब क्या है. The common marsh scorpion, however, not only lacks a stinger but subsists on a diet of mudworms and bog moss, lending its flesh an altogether more troubling tang.
I better get this back to Yvonne before it goes bad. It'll be worse at least.
चलो सीधे फास्ट ट्रैवल करते हैं. नियरबाई एक्टिविटीज वो क्या था? एक मिनट रुकना. ओह एक मार्क है यहाँ पे. सारे जगह एक मार्क है सारे जगह में. ठीक है वो मेरे हिसाब से उधर जाके अगर मैं देखूंगा तो मुझे मिलेंगे सारे मार्क्स. कौन कौन से मार्क्स कहाँ पे हैं.
Did you find our mystery ingredient?
I did indeed.
Marvelous! Let's see. What am I supposed to do with this? It's poisonous, surely.
You wouldn't be wrong. But that's your unwanted violet.
Into the pot it goes, I suppose. Wait here. I won't be long. I present Chance's Stew, risen once again from the ashes of obscurity. Grab a spoon, Sid. Let's eat while it's hot.
I'm, not hungry.
Well, it'll be too late once I've licked the bowl clean. Your loss. Odin's teeth. What, the salt on the senses. It's like choking on swamp water. And yet, up through the pungency, there rise complex, meaty notes. It takes a moment to recover from such an onslaught of flavours, but never have I tasted anything so fine. Thank you, Sid. Thank you.
You're, welcome.
I must share this gift. I won't rest until a steaming bowl of Chance's stew sits before everyone in the hideaway. A single mouthful, and Molly will be breeding scorpions of her own.
I'm sure she will.
यार वो खुश है उस बाकी सब खुश नहीं होने वाले बाकी सब मुझे गाली देने वाले The strength of a city is defined by the guard that mans its walls. The strength of a city guard is defined by the pride in their hearts and the laurels on their breasts. This badge provides its wearer with one of the two. ये पहनना होगा डिफरेंस काफी बड़ा रहा है वो इग्निशन नहीं विकेड काउच कौन सा है यार विकेड भी लिए ना 15% 10% इसके जगह मैं पहन रहा हूँ नहीं डिफेंस का कहाँ गया है डिफेंस का ये रहा ना 300 है ये तो ज़्यादा कर नहीं सकता इसे मास चार्ज ओह क्यों नहीं मास तो कर देता हूँ उसे इसको भी मास्टर कर लेना चाहिए था उससे होता क्या कुछ समझ में नहीं आ रहा सही बोलूँ तो
That monster's taken quite a liking to Lady Karen.
He's not a monster. He's Torgal. And he'd take a liking to you too if you gave him as many nuts as Nan does.
चलो यहाँ के नीचे का करूँगा पहले पहुँचना कैसे उधर पूरा लंबा जाना होगा ये वाला पहले करता हूँ उसके बाद वो जो प्लस जो भी ऐड करेगा मेरे क्या करेगा कोई आइडिया नहीं है सही बोलूँ तो बस देखेंगे पिछले वाले प्लस ने मुझे एक चोकोबो दिया ये वाला क्या देगा कुछ अच्छा ही हो यार यहाँ पे बॉटनिस्ट का Well, backyard, huh? The fruits of our labors.
Sid, I was hoping to speak to you.
Is everything all right?
Oh, yeah, it's just, well, as you know, we've been trying to grow fruit down here.
It's good to know that something of the old hideaway still lives on.
Martel's pride and joy. It was a sapling when she rescued it from the rubble, but look at it now. All our hard work's finally paying off. I took it on, you see, after she died, and now the fruit's finally ready to eat. And not only is it ready, it's actually tasty. Sweet as you like, in fact. She bred the bitter right out of it.
Impressive. And welcome news to more than a few, I'd say.
I thought this first harvest could go to the curse breakers on account of all the... You couldn't take them some, could you? Seems better them coming from you.
Ah, definitely.
It'll be nice being the bearer of good news for a change.
Oh, thank you. She always had a soft spot for that lot, see? And once they've had their share, I'll see to it that everyone else gets some. Here you go. Martell apples, they're called, in honor of her memory. You hear that, Martell? Today's finally the day.
The fruits of her labors. 2 baskets of Martell apples. देखते हैं क्या बोलते हैं. असल में बिटर निकाल दिया है या अभी I mean इसने खुद भी ट्राई किया होगा तभी बोला होगा कि बिटर निकाल दिया पूरा. और उनके रिएक्शन देखते हैं. रिएक्शन से ज़्यादा अच्छा मालूम होगा. बिटर निकाल दिया इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि स्वीटनेस जो यूजुअली होती है सेब की वो वापस डाल दी है. मैं बबक कर रहा हूँ बस.
I could have sworn we had a few more. Typical nobles, cowering behind their walls rather than joining the fight.
You two look like you could use something to eat. Here, courtesy of Martell.
A basket of Martell apples, grown and picked by Cormac for sample by hideaway residents. For sample by hideaway residents. पता नहीं वो sentence सही है कि नहीं.
Martell. Now, where have I heard that name before?
Weren't she the girl from the Furrows?
Course she was. An odd sort, that one. Loved plants more than people.
Aye, and brave as a bane might. Remember when she ran back into the hideaway to collect them trees when Titan attacked? Wait.
These aren't those apples, are they? Well, I'll be. She'd have been proud, and rightly so. Thank you, Sid.
How did we never hear about these Guardians of the Flame?
Same way they never heard about us, I expect.
There are new billets being posted every day, but not enough swords to see to them.
ज़्यादा डायलॉग्स या एक के बाद एक बस लेफ्ट साइड स्क्रीन के लेफ्ट साइड में आते ही जा रहे थे.
A gift from the backyard. For your service.
Blimey, these take me back. I haven't seen a hideaway apple since. Old Sid was the only one who could stomach the things. He'd nab them right from the branch, made Martell livid. Not that anyone could stay mad at the man for long.
That sounds like the Sid I knew, all right.
Planning on keeping that lot to yourselves, were you? Hang on. These aren't Martells, are they? I'm glad to see someone carried on what she started. Can't have been easy, not in the Deadlands. Reckon she'd be happy knowing all her hard work didn't go to waste. Clive, tell the lad down in the backyard to run some over for me, will you?
Not so much as a thank you. Well, I've got some manners at least. Thanks, Sid. You can leave the basket with me. I'll see that the others get their share. Oh, and give our compliments to the gardener, won't you?
That was the last of the apples. I should head to the backyard and pass along everyone's regards.
Can't remember the last time I had fresh fruit. Oh, I'm looking forward to this.
वो कुछ नए हैं दो और ये है वो माँ का.
Them old apples were enough to curdle your gut. But these beauties are sweet.
ये हमेशा हंसी आती है कि गेम्स में ना वो हाथ को जस्ट स्क्रीन के नीचे रखते हैं। ये हॉराइजन में भी ऐसे ही होता है, कुछ दे रहे हैं या कुछ ले रहे हैं किसी से, तो हाथ स्क्रीन के जस्ट नीचे होगा, कट हो जाएगा मोस्ट प्रॉब्ली, क्योंकि वो पूरा जो कुछ भी दे रहे हैं उसको बना के पूरा वो करना नहीं चाहते, मॉडल बनाना नहीं चाहते, टाइम वेस्ट है और कुछ नहीं। स्पेशली ये एप्पल्स ठीक है, थोड़ा एक बना दिया, हर एक बास्केट को देने का वो सब मेरे हिसाब से कुछ ज़्यादा ही होता है, पूरा एनिमेट वो सब करना, तो इससे अच्छा है बस हाथ स्क्रीन के नीचे दे दिया जो भी देना है, सिर्फ उसके लिए नहीं, बाकी सब के लिए भी, गेल्स वो सब के लिए, गेल्स और वो बग जो है जो बेच सकते हैं।
The curse breakers send their thanks and their compliments. They were clearly very fond of Martel.
They remembered her? After all these years? I suppose she was very kind, even to a tongue-tied lummox like me. You were one of the good ones, Martel. Why did you have to die? She put everything into her work. She wasn't going to rest until we had fruit sweet enough to enjoy. And now we do. When she died, I named a sapling after her. And now it's a full-grown tree. Martel lives on through the fruit it bears.
And through you. Her dream would have died with her, had you not kept it alive. That's something to be proud of.
I didn't do anything really, but thank you. You're kinder to me than I deserve.
By the way, Otto's expecting some of your crop. And I wouldn't mind some of it either, if that's not too much to ask.
Of course not. I'll see that you're both well provided for. They like your fruit, Martel. Isn't that wonderful? I'd say it's about time we planted you some siblings, don't you think?
ये मार्टेल वही है क्या जिसको हमने बचाया था हाइडवे के साइड क्वेस्ट में? और वही है तो हाइडवे में तो उसका क्या बोलते हैं, ये सारे पेड़ पौधे फिर से उगाने का तो हेड कोई एक बंदा था, मार्टेल नहीं थी, पता नहीं यार। A basket of slightly stunted, somewhat sweet apples grown from the blighted earth thanks to the dedication and perseverance of one woman, Martel. May she rest in peace. Still, we'll grow something worth eating one of these days, and when we do, you'll have first pick. Yes. ये वो ये जिसको हमने रेस्क्यू किया था, पर वो किसी और के अंदर थी। वो बंदा यही है क्या जिससे हमने बात की?
Just look at her. Isn't Martel in fine fettle? What about young Boppimill here? He's got some work to do if he wants to catch up with his brother Kenneth.
Ah, Boppimill na.
This ton here pulls the black from the lake water and renders it clear. You'll have to ask Mid if you want to know how it works, though.
Boppimill कहाँ है? वो है क्या Boppimill? No, Nigel, head botanist.
Flowers can bring succor, and they can bring death. It all depends on the flower. Which is why you shouldn't go eating them unless you know what you're doing.
और यहाँ पे क्या? The foundation of Valestian botany, marble tendrils. After excising from the trunk, dry for 3 to 5 turns of the sun until brittle to the touch. Grind in mortar and add to warm cold milk to remedy gout, melancholy, and moon sickness. Caution recommended when harvesting, as the host may grow disquieted. Experimental record, Boppimill, head botanist. Mixed equal parts first rate vineyard humus from Galton's bales with deadland soil. Of the 6 cuttings planted therein, 2 survived to flower, only to wither and die within a sennight. Even amalgamated with the finest imperial loam, the blighted earth is still affecting a nutritional deficiency. It might be remedied with some further source of nourishment, saltpeter or potash, or the dung of a racing chocobo. This shall be the subject of my next round of experiments. लगता है वो मर गया Boppimill, और नाइजल Boppimill का भाई है। बहमिल और मार्टेल, वो दो लोग जिनसे हमने बात की थी वो पुराने हाइडआउट में, और जिनकी मदद की थी, दोनों के दोनों मर गए वो टाइटन की वजह से। चलो एक और क्वेस्ट करता हूँ, वो जो बचा है, और उसके बाद जाता हूँ ये विवियन से बात करने। ये भी देखना है, और वो नोटोरियस मार्क बोर्ड भी देखना चाहता हूँ, बाउंटी बोर्ड या जो भी उसका नाम है, इधर याद नहीं आ रहा अभी। अभी के लिए ये क्या ऐड करेगा मेरे लिए?
How did we never
There are
hear
new
about
billets
these
being
guardians of the
posted
dawn?
every day.
Same way they
Not
never
enough
heard about
swords
us,
to
I
see to
expect.
them.
Clive! Oh, am I glad to see you?
Is something wrong?
It's Blackthorn. He ain't himself. And if I'm honest, he ain't been for a while. Normally it only takes a couple of drinks to perk him back up, but not this time. Something's getting him down. And whatever it is, he ain't telling. It's like he's lost his spark, you know? He's barely got enough fire in his belly to get the ump about stuff. But I'm thinking he might if we both bent his ear, because he respects you, innit? So, what do you say?
Find out what's bothering Blackthorn, Blacksmith's blues.
Fine. If you think it will help.
I knew you'd understand.
But if he doesn't want to talk, we let him be. He'll open up when he's ready.
All right. Now, he'll only smell a rat if we both turn up at once. So, I'll go first, and you can meet us at the forge. Wait a bit, then head over when you're ready.
Blacksmith's blues. मेरे हिसाब से इसके बाद में ये जो सोड है इसको मैं अपग्रेड कर पाऊंगा, रीइंफोर्स इस गेम में जो बोलते हैं। आई मीन ब्लैकस्मिथ के लिए और क्या होगा, ज़्यादा अच्छे टेक्निक्स जिससे ज़्यादा अच्छे सोर्ड्स को वो रीइंफोर्स कर सके, और वो होते ही मैं कर रहा हूँ इसे रीइंफोर्स।
First August, and now you. Me.
August was worried that something had been weighing on your mind. I thought you might want...
Did you now? I told you not to stick your nose in my business. What'd you go and do?
Clive just wants to help, innit? What's so bad about that? Talk to him. You never know, you might feel better for getting it all out in the open. Please, mate. I'm worried about you.
Phil shut you up. It's nothing really. Stupid. Not the sort of thing you bother people about.
Why don't you tell us all the same?
Karen and I have an arrangement. I keep an eye on Goots, and she shows me what the competition's up to. Interesting arms and armor, things like that. Anyway, the other day, she shows me a cuirass she's come by. Masterpiece of level work. Light, supple, and tougher than it had any right to be. Made my stuff look like every clumsy shit. I should have brought the bastard thing there and then just to study it, but I was too proud. Now, every time I reach for my hammer, I'm reminded that I'm not the craftsman I thought I was. There. You happy? You got what you came for? Now piss off.
All right. We're going. I always thought of old Blackthorn as a bit of a force of nature. Like a storm cloud full of hail. Didn't think anything could rattle him. Least of all a stupid piece of leather.
Blackthorn's always taken pride in his craft. Questioning it means questioning himself. Something tells me this is only going to get worse. If he has doubts, it will affect his work, which will only add to his problems. We need to nip this in the bud.
I couldn't agree more.
He said he should have bought that cuirass. Perhaps we should track it down for him. Assuming you're happy to help, that is.
Too bloody right I am.
Glad to hear it. First things first, then. We need to speak to Karen.
वो मुझे
She's
अपग्रेड
taken quite a
ब्लैकस्मिथ
liking
चाहिए
to Lady Karen.
जल्दी बता दे
Karen, do you have a moment? Blackthorn mentioned that you'd recently come by a leather cuirass. An exquisite example of the craft, from what he told us.
And he ain't been himself since he saw it. So we thought we'd buy it for him.
Sorry, sold it already. Didn't think Blackthorn cared for it the way he turned his nose up. But it was nicely put together, that's for certain. Even if the bloke who made it is a bit of an odd one. Happened across him on my travels. Makes all his stuff to order, but the fella who commissioned it refused to pay. He didn't like the colour of summit. So I took it off his hands for a fair price.
You don't know where we might find him, do you?
Like I said, he's a bit of an odd one. Doesn't even have a workshop. He doesn't trust hunters neither, which means he spends as much time out tracking beasties as he does working their hides.
I see.
He did tell me something, though. Apparently, his next commission's for a set of griffin hide greaves.
Here, there's a griffin on the hunt board. The curse breakers were placing bets on who'd bag it. Now, where the bleeding hell was it sighted? Somewhere in Sambrec, maybe... Care Northern, that was it.
Thank you, Karen. We'd be lost without you.
At least you admit it.
So, it sounds like going after that griffin might be the best chance we have of finding our roaming leather worker.
I'll leave the hunting to you if you don't mind. While you get on with that, I'll ask around the markets. See if I can't sniff out who he is and where he's hiding.
Good idea. Hopefully one of us will be able to track him down.
Hello.
If that leather worker's even half the craftsman Blackthorn says, someone's bound to have heard of him. I'll do a bit of poking around, see if I can't find something out. Good luck in Sambrec, and watch out for that griffin. They're nasty bastards, they are.
Hunt board. Finally. उसका इस्तेमाल करूँगा मैं ये ख़त्म करने के बाद देखने वाला था उसे पर इसने इस साइड को इसने ही उसके पास लेके चले गया वो तो ये Clive, there you are, Kupo. I've been looking all over for you.
What's the matter, Nectar?
The matter is this, Kupo.
The hunt board? It's where the curse breakers post sightings of particularly fearsome beasts. Those that might pose a threat to our operations if they were left to roam free. Just because they can't be dealt with when they're spotted, doesn't mean they can't be dealt with later. Was that what you wanted to know?
Of course not, Kupo. I knew all that already. And that's why I need your help. As I need not remind you, Kupo, I am the mightiest of all the Mughals. No friend of the forest or goal or the green sword can measure up Batani. So I need you to slay them all, Kupo.
Right. Well, leaving your mightiness aside for the moment, the people of Alastia are going through a lot already. What with the Blight and the war, the last thing they need is ungodly fiends terrorizing them on top of everything else. So if the curse breakers are too busy to help, then perhaps I can. Or at least I can try.
Oh, thank you, Kupo. It's so good to have someone who understands me, Kupo. I'll stay here then and keep an eye on all the billets that get posted on the board. So if there's anything you need to know, Kupo, I'm your Mughal. Abhi ke liye? Ask about Griffin sightings. Did I hear you say you were hoping to hunt down a Griffin, Kupo? Then do I have the billet for you, Kupo? An especially horrible one the locals call Dozmere. Reports of fiends terrorizing the countryside are posted to the hunt board in hopes that fearless heroes such as Clive will take it upon themselves to hunt down and slay the notorious marks. Angel of Death, Dozmere, ye raha. While passing along the trail from Lostwing to Caer Norvend, one of our order was met with a sudden blast of wind so strong that it bent back the trunks of the old oaks, and heard a cry so terrible that he ran for his life. Questioning the locals revealed that this area was the nesting place of the elder griffin known as Dozmere, a beast much hated for its appetite both for chocobos and for children. ठीक है. यार, ये कैसे लूं? समझ भी नहीं आ रहा। कैर नॉर्वेंट वेस्ट गेट सैनबर्ग, ठीक है। फिर से गलत बटन। कैर नॉर्वेंट कहाँ पे? ये रहा, ग्लोरियस गेट, ड्रैगन्स एली। द हंट बोर्ड। यार मैं कोशिश कर रहा हूँ पर ये कुछ वेस्ट गेट जाना है, ठीक है। मैं कैर नॉर्वेंट जा रहा हूँ यार, और कुछ कर नहीं सकता अभी। कैर नॉर्वेंट वेस्ट गेट, ये याद रखना है मुझे। ओह डैम, वेस्ट गेट मेरे हिसाब से मतलब यहाँ पर है। उधर जाके देखता हूँ, शायद वो क्या बोलते हैं।
Good girl.
यार भागने के लिए भूल गया आलतू, सॉरी। शायद उसके वजह से ये इनएक्सेसिबल है, क्या बोलते हैं वो, ग्रिफिन की वजह से। देखते हैं यहाँ पे कुछ रुक रहा तो नहीं है। अबे यार नॉट बंद है इसके वजह से। मैं हंट बोर्ड टू लोकेट द ग्रिफिन्स मैंने कर दिया है। क्या उनमें से कोई भी नहीं ले सकता क्या मैं, क्योंकि अभी वो खुले नहीं है रास्ते उनके लिए, वैसा है क्या? अरे मैं बकवास होगा उसके वजह से ही मैं नहीं कर पा रहा हूँ ये। मैं सिर्फ वो सब पढ़ लूँ।
How did we never hear about these guardians of the flame?
ये तो कर दिया है मैंने। क्लियर व्यू, द ब्रोकन हिल्ट। क्या?
A part of me thought Drake's head might be the last crystal we ever cracked, but I'm glad I was wrong.
वेस्ट गेट में अब तक पहुंचा नहीं हूँ। कैर नॉर्वेंट वेस्ट गेट यार, क्लियर व्यू नाम का कुछ है क्या? ईस्टपुल, द डैम, ऑर्बेल डाउन्स, लॉस्ट विंग है ये तो, आउटरीच, ड्रैगन्स एरी। यप, बाकी दो भी जगह मैं अभी गया नहीं हूँ। मतलब मुझे इंतज़ार करना होगा जब तक मैं ये, क्या था उसका नाम, गैर नॉर्वेंट के वेस्ट गेट के पास ना पहुंच जाऊं। इसके लिए मुझे ये आगे बढ़ाना होगा कहानी को। और आगे बढ़ाने से पहले सेव कर देता हूँ। और स्ट्रीम को भी यहाँ पर ही बंद करता हूँ यार। अभी के लिए मुझे लंच ऑर्डर भी करना है, वो किया भी नहीं है, तो इसलिए थोड़ा जल्दी कर रहा हूँ। अभी स्ट्रीम बंद, फिर आएगा लंच और फिर मैं खाऊंगा, तो थोड़ा देर से स्टार्ट करूँगा मोस्ट प्रॉब्ली आज का स्ट्रीम। पर अभी के लिए जो भी स्ट्रीम में जुड़े हैं, चलो स्ट्रीम में जुड़ने के लिए बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। और वॉल्टन भाई भी अगर जुड़े थे तो उनको भी स्ट्रीम में जुड़ने के लिए बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। मैं आपसे लंच के बाद मिलता हूँ।